just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Shaw Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Shaw Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 1 week after undergoing surgery on a fracture in his non-throwing hand, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert expected to play on Monday Night Football against the Eagles, 8:15 Eastern, ABC and ESPN. Confirmation today from Colts coach Shane Steichen that quarterback Daniel Jones will miss the rest of the season with an Achilles tear, will have surgery this week. Riley Leonard played yesterday after Jones's exit. He's likely the starter moving forward for an Indy team 8th in the AFC. ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky.
Riley Leonard still has perimeter players. Michael Pittman Jr. was really good. You saw him move the pocket, get outside, use his athleticism, find players like Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren. So is he good enough to keep them afloat for a game or two? Yes. To keep their playoff hopes alive is hard. The loss of DeForest Buckner, the loss of Sauce Gardner, now Daniel Jones.
Heat guard Terry Rozier pleaded not guilty today to charges he helped gamblers placing bets on his performances in NBA games. Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups has pleaded not guilty in a separate scheme to fix high-stake mafia-backed illegal poker games.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Tuesday. Which teams will land in my power rankings this week? Find out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And a Mr. Toby Tom play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Blake Baker staying put. Couple of Tigers in the portal. We can know LSU's bowl destination. Saints slipped up and won a game. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
What a week for LSU football and for new head coach Lane Kiffin. Man, a massive early win. Not only did LSU last week polish off the early signing period by getting both 5 stars, Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson, to honor their commitment, sign with the Tigers, but perhaps an even bigger commitment on Friday night when Blake Baker made it known that he would, in fact, be returning to LSU, foregoing opportunities from both Memphis and Tulane to be their head football coach. There's a lot of layers here that I want to dive into, but if you remember that timeline from a week ago, Monday, Baker interviewed with Tulane. Wednesday was the report first from Garland Gillen that he interviewed with Memphis. On Thursday, both Tulane and Memphis came to Baton Rouge for face-to-face meetings with Baker. by Thursday evening, a lot of the media in New Orleans were reporting that Baker was expected to take the job. Shared with you that a brief interaction that I had with Blake Baker on Thursday evening made it very clear that he had not made up his mind and was very much struggling with what to do. And ultimately on Friday, made the decision that he would, in fact, return to LSU instead of becoming a head coach. And I think there are two things primarily. I didn't say only two things, but two things primarily that led to Blake Baker making the decision to return to LSU. He was a guest on Off the Bench on Monday with Hester and Flynn and talked about the thing that really was the most important thing in this decision.
It starts with, honestly, like my family, talking to them. Kids are, 10, 8, and 6 now, and hearing their input. But we're extremely happy here and love the community, love the support of Baton Rouge, and obviously being close to family. All those things, play a major role, and then especially as many times as we've moved, in the last 5 years. So I think that's where it started, and probably everything else is probably lanyap.
Okay, so remember we discussed this last week. Why the family thing was so significant. Remember, he just told you his oldest is 10. They're at an age now where when you move, it's not easy. And listen, this is something that's relatable. Maybe as a parent, you've had to move for your job with your family, or maybe when you were a child, you moved with your family. So you don't have to be a football coach. Like, my sister's husband took a job in Kansas, so works for Honeywell. They left here and their family and moved. My brother took a job at the University of Notre Dame. They live in South Bend now. They moved from here to there. Like, that's something that's relatable, right? It's not an easy thing for families to do. And just follow the last 5 years. In 2020, they were at Miami, 21 in Baton Rouge, 22 and 23 in Columbia, 24 and 25 back in Baton Rouge. Now they're going to move again. And you don't take the Tulane job thinking you're going to be there as your last stop. You take the Tulane job thinking, there's my springboard to a Power 4. So what, another year, two? I mean, John Summerall was at Tulane for 2 years before he got the Florida job. So what, 2 more years going to be moving again? I think that was in his mind, certainly, of why he was willing to stay put at this point. And I think that's very human and very relatable, especially when everything else fell in place. LSU's going to pay him $3 million a year. He's going to have a chance with an offense from Lane Kiffin that will be complementary to the defense. Listen, there's no secret. It was a frustrating year for Blake Baker. The defense played well enough to win against Oklahoma. They gave up 20 points on the road at Alabama. They were on the field for 86 snaps against Ole Miss, but until the final 2 minutes of the first half, it shut Ole Miss out on their home field. They kicked a field goal at 3 points. Until the final couple minutes there. I mean, it was a very frustrating season, and it stands to reason that with Kiffin coming in, you're going to have some balance offensively, which only help elevate him and his side of the ball. So I said family was one part. All that other stuff had to fall in place, right? The money, the opportunity to win, all that other stuff, which is there. But the other thing, too, was the conversations that Blake Baker had with current players and with recruits last week.
Part of it was, loyalty to current players and the recruiting class. I guess news had broke that I was taking the Tulane job, and I had a lot of the current players texting me and calling me, wondering what was going on, and just the timing of the recruiting class. You're sitting here and you're telling guys that you're going to be here next year, and we need you to sign on the dotted line. And I just couldn't look at myself in the mirror and say those things and then up and leave in the next 24 hours.
I think that is incredibly admirable and ethical of Blake Baker. And remember, we shared some of these details with you as well last week. Wednesday was the start of the early signing period. Tuesday night, there was a 3-hour meeting at Football Ops with Lane Kiffin, the GM Billy Glasscock, Blake Baker, Bryce Brown, who's Richard Anderson's high school coach, and Anderson's agent. His representation was there. Well, Blake Baker's there on Tuesday night saying, we want you to sign. We'll be here. Here's what it's going to be like. 48 hours later, he's going to be the Tulane coach. I told you also that I had a conversation on Thursday with the father of one of LSU's signees. And this was Thursday, midday. And this person told me he was very, that in the conversations they had this week, that Blake Baker told him that he's staying. So Baker was telling recruits he was staying. And then by Thursday night, Friday, he was going to be gone. I mean, that clearly, you heard it from him there. I mean, that weighed on him. Now, it's also plausible that he didn't have the formal offer from either of those schools until Thursday at some point. So maybe when he was having those conversations Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week, maybe he didn't know if he were leaving, which is certainly realistic. But obviously, you've got a real opportunity. And listen, this is significant for a lot of reasons. When Blake Baker got here, LSU was 108th in total defense and 81st in scoring defense in 2023. So here are the total defense ranks. The year before Blake Baker showed up, 108. They went from 108 to 61 to 25th this year in total defense. 108 to 61 in year one under Baker to 25th. Scoring defense, they were 81st in 23, 59th in Baker's first year, and then 15th this year. So they went from 81 to 59 to 15. You are dramatically improved in 2 years under Blake Baker, not debatable. You have key staff in place. With Baker returning, you retain your defensive staff. Remember, the whole offensive staff is turned over as Lane Kiffin's brought in his offensive staff. But defensively, with Baker staying, Jake Olson, Kevin Peoples, Corey Raymond, they're all staying in place as well. Now you've made a change at defensive line coach because Kyle Williams is not going to be on staff, and you've hired Elijah Robinson, which is a phenomenal hire. But retaining your staff is key for continuity on the roster and for your recruiting class, as we saw. I mean, if Blake Baker hadn't returned and the staff there was upheaval on the staff, Richard Anderson may not have signed. Lamar Brown may not have signed. Haven Finney out of California. Remember, Haven Finney told us that this was a Corey Raymond play. Like, if Corey Raymond wasn't on staff, he probably isn't signing. So it stands to reason that if Blake Baker was gone and Corey Raymond wasn't back, that Haven Finney might not have signed. Trenton Henderson out of Pensacola. A lot of these guys may not be part of this class if you had the defensive staff upheaval. That's a very real thing that could have happened. So, listen, it's a huge, huge win for Lane Kiffin to keep Blake Baker, because if you just simply replicate the defensive performance from this year in 2026, and Kiffin does at LSU what he's done everywhere, which is bring productive offenses. I mean, if you had a competent offense this year, you beat Oklahoma, you probably beat Alabama on the road. You only gave up 20 points in that game. I mean, even the Texas A&M game, I know the final score got lopsided, but you were winning that game at halftime, 18-14. So, I mean, Ole Miss, you had opportunities to win that game on the road. How different, could the season have looked with a competent offense? I think that's what they're banking on in 2026. Long way to go, but maybe the biggest get last week wasn't one of the recruits. It was keeping Blake Baker in Baton Rouge. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. Our show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of your New Orleans Saints as well. Not too late. You can always get by any retailer, and you'll find the officially licensed LSU cans and the 16-ounce aluminum bottles. Great time with the holiday here to toast with the delicious taste of ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Saints slipped up and got themselves a win. Want to talk about that as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty, buying or selling commercial or residential. Tell you every day, think real estate, think Darren James. Hey, I know I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. Maybe if you heard me talk about it, didn't do it, or maybe you meant to do it, forgot to get back to it. But if you're going to sell your home, first of all, you got to know how much your home is worth. And there's a lot of different ways you can go about trying to get an appraised value of your house. But at Darren James's website, he has a free tool on the website. It's called the Home Value Tool. So if you go to the website, agent225.com, do this right now. Grab your phone. If you're at your desktop, just go to agent225.com. You'll see Home Value bottom right, or if you're on mobile, just scroll down. You'll see where it says Home Value. Just type in your address. Just type in your address, hit enter, and it's going to spit out, using local market data, what your home is worth right now. Start there and get your home sold with Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's Chicken Fingers. One month.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable. And
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Moving left to right in a tie game, 17-17. Shough takes it out of the shotgun. Here comes some pressure. He's in trouble. Escapes it, and now he does escape it. 20, 15, 10. Shough is going to get his second rushing touchdown of the game as he takes it in for the left side.
Fun game, fun battle. I thought just our guys' mindset and the way they prepared this week, obviously, when you've only won a couple games during the season, there's a lot of adversity you face, and so for our guys to come out and have the energy and the physicality that they played with, I thought was credit to our guys. They're a special group, a group that keeps playing, and all three phases I felt contributed to this game back and forth, and so it was a really challenging game for both teams, and so it was big for our guys to come away with the win.
Kellen Moore, after the Saints beat Tampa 24-20 in the slush. It was Mike Haas on the call on the New Orleans Saints radio network. Not that we've had many to choose from this year, but that was the most impressive win of the season for the New Orleans Saints. I'm not even sure that that's particularly close. In particular, whenever you consider all of the elements stacked against New Orleans here, you're on the road, and this Saints team has been awful on the road this season. You lost 44-13 to Seattle, 31-19 at Buffalo, a double-digit loss at the Bears, a blowout loss 34-10 at the Rams. You lost last week at the Dolphins. You did get the one road win at Carolina when Tyler Shough got his first win, but you've been bad. You've been bad on the road. This was on the road against Tampa, which was leading the division by only a half a game while Carolina was idle. and they desperately needed this win to keep their cushion in the division, and a division game could help with tiebreakers whenever you go to division champion tiebreakers if it comes down to that. So that you're without Tale Esefuaga, no Alvin Kamara, no Justin Reed. It's raining. I mean, just this slush pit quagmire you're playing on. There's a lot that wasn't working in New Orleans' favor in this game, and they still went out there and got the win. Tyler Shough, if this is one of those games where you look at the box score, it's not going to tell the story. A lot of times, the stats do tell you the story. This is one of those where that's not necessarily the case. The Saints only put up 260 yards of offense. Not great. Tyler Shough was 13 of 20 for 144 and a pick. Typically, you see that and you go, that's awful. And there was a lot that wasn't good. The interception that he threw, the miscommunication on the deep ball was ugly and not at a great time in the game, obviously, when you had scored to start the game. They answered. You had missed a field goal, and then you threw the interception. Things weren't feeling great at that moment for New Orleans. It felt like the game was shifting as we all thought it might. But Tyler Shough is consistently showing the ability to elevate the team. And I think that's maybe, I don't mean for this to sound like a knock on Spencer Rattler, because I don't think Rattler was the reason the Saints were losing. But what we pretty consistently said was Rattler wasn't making the plays to elevate the team. Shough, I think we're seeing, is making some of those plays. You heard the 34-yard touchdown run. How about the 13-yard touchdown run, which gave the Saints the lead for good? That was a play where, I tweeted, Tyler Vick, because, he's felt like he was in the grass, rolls out, darts up the left side, dives for the pylon. Incredible play when you had to have it. There was the Saints in the second half were 5 of 7 on third down. In the fourth quarter, they were 4 of 5 on third down. Just look at these late game plays. On that drive where Shough scored the game what ended up being the game-winning touchdown, on 3rd and 10, he converted a 13-yarder to Olave. On 3rd and 8, he threw the screen to Neal for 14 yards. It was really impressive. As they were chewing clock in the fourth quarter, Saints get the ball with 4:54 to play. A 3rd and 7, he hits Vele for 11 yards. Had another one to Vele for 13 yards. The point is, he made winning plays in key moments in this ball game that allowed the Saints to get over the hump and hang on and get this done. So that was really, really encouraging by Tyler Shough. By the way, after the game, Demario Davis even talked about this. The sort of whatever the it factor is that Tyler Shough has it.
He's shown to have that it factor. What is the it factor? What is that thing that separates, some of our top quarterbacks in the league from the rest of the guys? It's that savviness to make heads-up plays, to have that level of ice in your veins, to make plays when plays are could be dead in essence, to save a play, to extend a play, to make big runs and big moments, big third downs, to be able to turn into that pocket passer that can read the defense quick and get the ball out. To have that diversity is what I believe that any franchise needs to be successful in today's game.
Way more impactful for him to say it than me. Demario Davis vouching for him is good enough for me. A couple of other things. Opening kickoff of the game, Mason Tipton, 54 yards. You go on the kickoff return. You go 6 plays, 45 yards. You get in the end zone. Hat tip Devin Neal, got his first rushing touchdown. 19 carries for 70 yards. Ran hard all day. I thought that was fantastic to see. You did allow the answer from Tampa right away. But my goodness, how about defensively? New Orleans held Tampa 5 times on 4th down. Tampa was 2 of 7 on 4th down plays. That is, and hat tip to Ross Jackson, who had this at LouisianaSports.net. That's the most turnovers on downs by Tampa Bay since at least 1991. Time and again, you came up with those plays. The 4th and 1 stop for the TFL went, around midfield. Obviously late in the game, you had a 4th and 3 where Kool-Aid McKinstry hit. I'll call him Kool-Aid after this one. hit Chris Godwin. Looked like he had the reception, bobbled it. That was right at the start of the fourth quarter. They had a 4th and 1 that they did convert, but later on a 4th and 4 didn't, which ended the game for all intents and purposes. Really strong effort by the Saints defense on the road to hold Tampa on their home field to 20 points. Love to see that from this defense. I didn't love the end game scenario. There were 2 scenarios that I thought Kellen Moore handled poorly. One was when Audric Estime, this was at the beginning of the fourth quarter. This was at the end of the third quarter. Audric Estime has a carry. It looked like he got the first down. They ruled him short. And then they didn't review it. On 4th and 1, they complete the pass to Olave, but Cesar Ruiz was flagged for an ineligible man downfield because, of course, he was. When Kellen Moore met with reporters on Monday, he was asked about not stopping or not challenging on that third down play where it looked like Audric Estime had converted. And the Saints ended up moving back 5 yards, having to kick the short field goal. But this is why they didn't challenge.
Yeah, it got tricky. I think, we just never got a view as a result of it. And so we obviously saw the first down indication initially based off the alignment of the officials coming in and looked pretty clean. There was just no looks to potentially challenge it. And so it would be a little bit of guessing game challenge, which obviously we could have potentially done. But we didn't see any looks necessarily do it. And we had a play that we felt like, all right, we can still execute this on 4th and 1. Felt clean about it. And so, unfortunately, got a legal man downfield.
It was totally worth using the challenge right there. Ultimately, either way, you're still going to have that play in your back pocket and you're in field goal range. It's worth burning a timeout, potentially get 4 points, just my point of view. But anyway, I think there's enough of these scenarios where, even to his first game as head coach where he didn't use timeouts at the end of the first half scenario. But all of that, I'm sure, will come with time. And it's just such a contrast to Sean Payton, who acted like a pissed-off teenager, just throwing a challenge flag whenever he wanted. These are just complete polar opposites of one another. The other was late in the game, throwing the ball on 3rd and 11, which the ball was almost intercepted and stopped the clock with 1:48, which then Kai Kroger kicked the ball in the end zone for a touchback. So they got the ball at the 20 with 1:48 and a chance to go tie or not tie, I guess go win the game down 4. But the decision to throw on, remember, Tampa's out of timeouts here, and you're inside of the 2-minute warning. So you run a play, you're going to get to a minute, then you punt it. There's going to be inside of a minute left in the ball game for Tampa with no timeouts if you run the ball there and chew clock. But they threw it. It was almost intercepted, ended up incomplete. Here's Kellen Moore. Why?
Yeah, I think ultimately that's on me. There's a lot of factors that go into that, and we're trying to do our best to keep the clock moving ultimately, and so that's on me. I just need to simplify the game for everyone and just run the football in that situation just so we can burn the clock, because ultimately that was our main goal.
He's learning as a head coach, no doubt, and you'll learn from those lessons. Thankfully, it didn't hurt the Saints, and it's easy to say hindsight's 20/20, but that's just not the case. It was 3rd and 11. If it was 3rd and 2 and you had a play that you felt you could execute, like on the 4th and 1 that we just talked about, that's different. 3rd and 11 is not a high percentage conversion down. So the risk isn't worth the potential payoff there, because the risk is incomplete pass. Now they have 1:48. They're getting the ball, and it's plenty of time without any timeouts. You run the ball. By the time you run it, punt it, they retain possession. Even with a touchback, there's going to be less than 60 seconds to go in the game. They need a touchdown, and they have no timeouts. So it's good to hear him acknowledge that. Would have been better in the moment just to make the sensible call. But in any event, the Saints win. They get their 3rd win. I know at this point there's this sort of ongoing discussion among all of us about, would you rather the Saints win or lose? I'm going to be consistent here. I would rather them win. I know the feeling is you're screwing up the draft. I don't care. I think Mickey Loomis does a good enough job of screwing up the draft himself. I would rather find out that you have a franchise quarterback. I'd rather come through the final month of this season stealing a couple of games and ending up a 4, 5, 6 win team, drafting 10th, 8th, 9th, than being 2-15 with the first overall pick and feeling like you missed on Shough and you got to go draft a franchise quarterback. So I guess there's an in-between. You could play well, feel good about Shough, and still have a top pick. But I'm just going to feel better about going into the offseason if you feel like you have your starting quarterback going into next year. If you feel like going into draft and free agency, you've got Shough, great. Now, with Carr's retirement that freed up cash, you can go spend money on a proven offensive lineman. You can go into the draft and with a top 10 pick and get the best available wide receiver, edge rusher, cornerback, and feel much better about yourself going into 2026 and your ability to maybe push for a division championship in a division that's not a super strong division or doesn't have an elite team in it. So I'm not going to sit here and boo-hoo about the Saints winning a football game. I'm glad they went on the road and won that football game. I hope they come home against Carolina this week and they blow the doors off Carolina. That's what I hope happens. I hope they keep winning. I know they're not going to the playoffs, but I'd rather see this team continue to grow and develop and win behind Shough to show the rest of the league you got something here in this young quarterback. Free agents may want to come to New Orleans and be a part of this. Your current guys may want to re-sign and stick around for the development. All of that, I think, is more positive than, hey, let's face plant, go 3-14, and get the first or second pick. So, I know not everybody agrees with that, and that's okay. I mean, we could just have difference of opinions. I don't think you pound the table and say definitively one way is right or wrong. But I feel good about New Orleans winning the game and Tyler Shough making winning plays and finding ways to go on the road, battle adversity, and win a game. And the Saints did that on Sunday, and I hope they do it. I hope they do it 4 more times. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Hey, a lot of people are going to be hitting the road, no doubt, during the holiday season, going to those Christmas parties or maybe going to see family for Christmas out of state, out of town. You need name brand tires at wholesale prices. Shaw Bills will sell them to you. You go to the website, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Hit the promotions tab at the top of the page. You'll see all of the dealer specials they have, and they work so hard to combine the dealer special with the manufacturer's offer, so that way they'll give you the best price. They guarantee it. Remember, part of the Charlie's dozen, it's the price match guarantee. Buy tires at Shaw Bills. Find those tires advertised somewhere cheaper. They'll refund you 125% of the difference. It's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. In about 15 minutes, we'll get to what we learned. I do want to give you my college football playoff reaction. That's coming up at the top of Hour 2 in about 30 minutes from right now. Peter Burns in Hour 2, former Saint linebacker Scott Shanley here in Hour 3. A couple of LSU Tigers have hit the portal. We'll give you a little Cliff Notes on that when we come back. We're glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Big hat tip to my buddy Derek Duplessis over at Duplessis Builders. 2 things I want to tell you about. Number 1, very cool. Last week was a massive week around LSU, of course, with Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson, Bryson Martinez, all signing with LSU. Well, all 3 of those guys did high school NIL deals with Duplessis Builders. So Derek, LSU grad, great supporter of the Tigers as well. There's a cool video that we put out on social media of a piece of content that we did where I went and interviewed those 3 guys at Duplessis this past summer before the season started. You want to check it out. It's on any of our Facebook, Instagram. It's all out there. Also, major hat tip to Derek for participating in the 12 Days of Christmas with us over at Parish Construction and Roofing. Both Duplessis and Parish each put up $1,000 for 12 families to help make their Christmas a little brighter. Ruckus and Chris's Specialty Foods also participated, but just another way that Duplessis Builders and Derek Duplessis are giving back to our community. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Lockmeyer, Shough, Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer, Shough, Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
We know LSU is going to be playing in the Texas Bowl coming up on December the 27th. We'll talk more about that a bit later in the show. But what I think is going to be of greater consequence is who is going to be playing in the Texas Bowl, as there no doubt will be opt-outs for the draft, and then also players who are entering the transfer portal. Now, the portal window doesn't open until the beginning of January, so these players could, in theory, play for LSU in the bowl game and then go in the portal in January. I don't know that that's realistic. Well, there are 2 LSU players today so far that have announced their intention to enter the transfer portal. First, earlier today, and this one really isn't a big surprise, LSU junior cornerback Ashton Stamps on social media earlier on Monday announced his intention to enter the portal when the portal window opens. And Stamps is an interesting one because he, in that 2023 season when the defense was historically bad, he played a lot as a freshman, and then last year led the SEC with 14 pass breakups. So coming into this season, we all kind of thought that, Stamps would be a really significant piece of this defense, but kind of what we saw happen was that, Mansour Delane came in, obviously had the season that he did. DJ Pickett came in, took an elevated role, and then throughout fall camp, it was PJ Woodland that, as camp went along, it just was very obvious as reps started to go with the ones to Woodland over Stamps. And Stamps was just sort of just relegated to a backup role. So Ashton Stamps ends up only playing in 3 games this season. So he hits the portal and will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. I remember Brian Kelly, I think I asked him this after, it was maybe the Monday after the Clemson game, but I asked him about Stamps not playing because it was a surprise at that time. I think he maybe played 1 or 2 snaps against Clemson. And that, again, that was a guy that we thought was going to have a big role. And I asked Kelly why Stamps didn't play, wondering if there was something going on, and he was pretty cut and dried.
We're going to play the guys that, obviously give us the best chance to win. And he's a really good player. There's no doubt. But, when you talk about the rotation right now, the rotation was what we played on Saturday. But Ashton's got to stay ready. He knows that. This is a long season. We have great confidence in him and his ability to go out there and play at a high level for us.
So that was Kelly back at the beginning or end of August, beginning of September on Stamps. But Stamps is gone. Look, Monster Delane's going to be gone as well. Pickett Woodland should return as your starting cornerbacks. Got some young guys. Jakeem Jackson can come back. You signed Haven Finney. Maybe they go in the portal at another corner. We'll see how that all goes. The other LSU player that's declared his intention to enter the transfer portal is Ahmad Bro. Hayes Fawcett reported, but Bro has confirmed it on all of his social media that Bro is leaving. This one is maybe a little bit of a surprise because Bro had such an impactful freshman season and then played so much this year as well as a sophomore. But remember, Ahmad Bro played at Ruston for his defensive coordinator, Kyle Williams, who was the defensive line coach this year, defensive tackles coach this year, and now Kyle Williams won't be back. So you have Elijah Robinson coming in as the defensive line coach. I would have thought for sure that Ahmad Bro would have had a big role on LSU's team moving forward, but clearly that's not necessarily the case. This was Bro, by the way, talking about the role, his relationship with Kyle Williams.
And Coach Kyle, he's taught me more about being a man than anything. Bringing high energy to whatever you do, especially on the field, and ultimately not giving in to what your body wants to do, which is to quit when things get hard. And I really developed that since I've been stepped on foot on the campus with him.
So that was again Ahmad Bro on AFR after Kyle Williams was hired. Actually, I think that was before Kyle Williams was hired when we did that interview with him. But in any event, Ahmad Bro, Ashton Stamps, the two players so far that have declared their intention to enter the transfer portal. As we get more of those, we'll certainly pass them along to you. We'll go around the SEC in just a second. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Drink Evamore. Delicious, refreshing, clean tasting Evamore. I encourage all the time, grab a bottle of Evamore and whatever bottle of water you typically drink, do a side-by-side taste. Tell me if you don't taste the difference. And the source matters. This is natural artesian water, these ancient underground aquifers. They call it Mother Nature's masterpiece, and it's a Louisiana product. So support a great Louisiana company that's got national distribution. Yeah, if you live outside of Baton Rouge, outside of Louisiana, no worries. Go to the website, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Type in your zip code, and it'll tell you the nearest store to you where you can buy Evamore. Just go to the menu, hit the little drop down. It says like find a store, type in your area code. You'll see exactly where you can buy Evamore. EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Drink Evamore. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
Marcel Reed was on the Out of Pocket podcast with RG3 and said that, quote, I'm coming back. I'll be back. So Marcel Reed, not entering the NFL draft, will return to Texas A&M for the 2026 season.
The Texas Longhorns.
Running back C.J. Baxter will not return to Texas. He says that he plans to hit the transfer portal. Prepped in Orlando, where he was a 5-star prospect, the number 30 overall prospect in the country, leaves Austin after having played in 21 games and rushing for just under 900 yards during his time at Texas.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Linebacker Jerron Willis says he'll enter the transfer portal, announcing that on social media. Just wrapped up his third season at South Carolina after starting his career at Ole Miss in 2022. 3 seasons with the Gamecocks. He played in 20 games, logged just 9 tackles.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee's fired defensive coordinator Tim Banks. Pete Thamel the first to report the news. Banks, 53 years old, has been with the Vols since 2021, so he's been in charge of the defense there for 5 seasons. And they were 92nd in the country this year in scoring defense, 88th in total defense. Exit comes 12 months after he signed a new contract with the Vols that was paying him more than $2 million annually.
The Florida Gators.
A couple of Florida assistants who are former LSU assistants will not be retained. Wide receivers coach Billy Gonzalez and running backs coach Jabbar Jalouk, the guy who slapped an LSU football player on the sideline, should have been fired then. Neither will be retained by John Summerall, a good decision. Gonzalez, of course, been the interim head coach since Billy Napier was fired.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Bama expects multiple injured starters to be available for their playoff game against Oklahoma. Kalen DeBose, after they got waxed, -3 yards rushing in the SEC championship game, losers. They expect that Xavier Brown and Justin Jefferson will be available. Jam Miller likely should be back as well, and says he's optimistic about LT Overton and Kelby Collins, but we shall see. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters, too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, glad you're hanging out with us here on this Monday edition. We're not going to break. Muse, Paulie, and I will get to what we learned. The 3 things we tell you about on Thursday we're looking forward to. Incidentally, a couple of ones that I had happened exactly like they were improbable as they were, happened exactly as we thought they might. We'll get to that. Peter Burns in 30 minutes from right now. And I do want to get to my college football playoff reaction. That's coming up here in about 16 minutes after the top of the hour. Stick around. I'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, fired up, man. Thursday, AFR live from Gordon McKernan's office just off of Corporate Boulevard in Baton Rouge. The big office that you see there from the interstate with the big inflatables and the waving flag. We'll be there on Thursday for AFR because that's when Gordon is doing the Baton Rouge area bicycle giveaway. So we've been telling you about it for weeks. Every year during the Christmas season, the big philanthropy that Gordon and his team do is he gives away 600 bicycles to less fortunate children all over the state of Louisiana. And then Gordon goes to all the different offices around the state for the bike giveaways, which is a really cool thing to be able to do. And so we're going to be doing the show Thursday from Gordon's office. Gordon will join us. We'll talk NIL and all that stuff as well. But, I mean, what an awesome thing to do. The holidays are here. It's time to lift up people and spread the Christmas spirit. And Gordon is doing that. We're excited to be a part of it on Thursday. We'll be live from Gordon's office right there off of College. Get Gordon and get it done.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no 2 cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We always appreciate Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Merry Christmas from all of our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, every Thursday, Muse, Paulie, and I give you 3 things we're keeping an eye on during the football weekend. We call it What to Watch. We come back here on Monday and call it What We Learned. Let's do it.
We watched. Now, let's review.
All righty then. Muse, fire away.
I will. We were watching the American Conference Championship game, Tulane and North Texas. Obviously, the winner of that was a lock for the college football playoff. And, boy, Tulane, who was a home underdog, didn't look like it at all. 34-21, not even that close, to be honest with you. 5 turnovers for North Texas, the difference. Very reminiscent of their blowout loss to USF earlier this year, where they also turned the ball over 5 times. Dominant win for Tulane. They are off to the college football playoff.
I was watching the Big Ten Championship. Number 2, Indiana pulls off the upset over number 1, Ohio State. Fernando Mendoza threw for 222 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. After the win, Mendoza's Heisman odds skyrocketed, making him the favorite for the award. The win snapped a 30-game losing streak against the Buckeyes that stretched to 1988.
I cashed that ticket. That was fun. We were looking at the scenario with James Madison and Duke. Laid out that for you on Thursday. That if James Madison won their conference championship, which they did, the Sun Belt, and Duke somehow managed to upset Virginia, then we were likely going to have not 1 but 2 G5s in the college football playoff, because a 5-loss Duke team as the ACC champion wouldn't be one of the 5 highest-rated conference champions. Well, James Madison won the Sun Belt, and Duke in overtime upset Virginia, so we have 2 G5s stealing spots from worthy teams in the college football playoff, because, you know, all you dorks want G5 representation, right? Yeah, got it.
Loved Manny Diaz having to stump for his 5-loss team. That was very funny. Big 12 championship. Could a BYU upset potentially get 2 Big 12 teams into the playoff? Well, no, and not just no, emphatically no. They were blown out by Texas Tech once. They were blown out again. Game got off to a great start for BYU. Right down the field, 14-play touchdown drive. They never sniffed the end zone really again. And second-half turnovers, man, just absolutely crushed them. Texas Tech, they can make some noise in this thing. They're off to the playoff.
Cash that ticket, too.
Me too.
A good weekend.
I was also on Indiana like you were as well. Had a good weekend.
Steelers, Ravens. Pittsburgh gets the win 27-22. They improved to 7-6 and now lead the AFC North. Rodgers threw for 284 with a touchdown. He even ran for another touchdown. The Ravens have lost back-to-back divisional games with another matchup with the Bengals coming up this week.
I was hate watching Bama, Georgia, and I was pulling for a blowout. So Bama would be left out of the playoff. Well, we got it. Bama ran for -3 yards. Georgia blew them out 28-7. Wasn't even as close as the final score suggested. Everyone who watched it knows it. Bama is absolutely burning. Nick Saban would never allow a team to rush for -3 yards. That hasn't happened since the 1940s. I looked it up. It doesn't really matter. Bottom line is, Alabama, not very good. They lost, embarrassed. The best kind of Bama fans are sad Bama fans. Got to watch a lot of them on Saturday. And the best part about Bama being in the playoff, they're not going to win the national championship, so that guarantees them a 4th loss, meaning Kalen DeBose is going to lose 4 games in back-to-back seasons. That hasn't happened since 2006, 2007. Yes, Bama has been relegated to the Mike Shula era.
Jaguars and Colts. This was for first place in the AFC South, and it was a dominant win for the Jaguars, but man, it did not come without a pain for Indianapolis. Daniel Jones tears his Achilles. He is out. That's after he was reportedly playing on a broken leg. That pretty much ends the Colts' playoff hopes, as Riley Leonard will take the reins now for Indy going forward. Jacksonville, though, 9-4. Their main competition in the South is the Texans, who got a big win over the Chiefs.
Bears and Packers. Packers get the win 28-21. The Packers take sole possession of the NFC North. Green Bay picked off Caleb Williams' pass in the end zone with 22 seconds remaining to seal the win. Packers are currently the 2 seed, the Bears the 7 seed in the NFC. These 2 teams meet again in 2 weeks.
Pillow fight!
Oh, yeah.
I was watching the Jets-Dolphins. Dolphins blew out the Jets, by the way, 34-10. But I forgot we had 2 pillow fights because we had Titans-Browns as well. And when you know, the Titans managed to slip up and win a game 31-29. So the Titans now at 2-11. Browns are at 3-10. The Jets also at 3-10. Miami, though, they keep winning. What are you doing, Miami? You're 6-7 now. Like, the real pillow fight was actually in Cleveland. I got it wrong. 2 pillow fights on Sunday. All right, there you have it. That's what we learned. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our friends over at Our Lady of the Lake welcome Coach Kiffin and his family to Baton Rouge. And, of course, as the championship health partner of LSU Athletics, Our Lady of the Lake is synonymous with LSU. You go into any of the sporting events at LSU, you'll see Our Lady of the Lake logos everywhere. When you see student athletes being tended to by doctors or trainers, those are Our Lady of the Lake physicians and trainers. And, of course, just on campus, Our Lady of the Lake has the student health center contract as well. So it doesn't matter if it's champions on the field or everyday champions like the students at LSU or you and me. Our Lady of the Lake is the championship health partner of LSU Athletics, offering access and convenience and world-class health care right here at home. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Y'all put a button on hour number 1. SportsCenter's coming up. We'll get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, I do want to give my reaction to the college football playoff. I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to say anything that hasn't been said, but I do want to put it on the record. And then Peter Burns in about 20 minutes from right now. Hour number 2 after SportsCenter.
After further review.
Heading into 2026, if you're a business owner or you own a commercial or industrial facility, part of your New Year's resolution needs to be, if you don't already have it, to have a backup power system option. Ask yourself this: what happens if the power goes out? Storm comes, either hurricane, lightning, thunder, tornado, snow, ice, power goes out. What happens to your business? Listen, so many businesses, you can't afford to be offline. So what do? Arco Power Systems can help. So Generac industrial standby generators for your commercial or industrial building. We have one here at Guarantee Media. I mean, storm comes, we can't go off air. So we have a giant generator on the back of this building. If you need one for your building or to lease one or to service your generator, you need Arco Power Systems. Arco.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. NFL Week 14 caps off with the Eagles and Chargers on Monday Night Football, 8:15 Eastern, ABC and ESPN. With the Eagles offense struggling to find an identity, ranked in the bottom third of the league in total yards per game, passing, rushing, and scoring. Head coach Nick Sirianni more involved in offensive preparations this week. Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
I think they need to have more creativity around the run game. I would anticipate them running Jalen Hurts a lot more, quarterback design runs. It's that time of year. It's December. But then also, there are just throws in the passing game that Jalen Hurts has got to make. He's got to put it on receivers that are wide open. He's got to see receivers that are wide open.
Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert expected to play after surgery last week on his non-throwing hand. Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson slated for core muscle surgery this week. That will likely mean his season is over. Heat guard Terry Rozier pleaded not guilty today to charges he helped gamblers placing bets on his performance in NBA games. More than 30 people have been arrested in a sprawling federal takedown of illegal gambling operations linked to professional sports.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty, coming up Tuesday. Which teams will land in my power rankings this week? Find out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Music. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Peter Burns in 15 minutes. Scott Shanley next hour. Well, college football's annual Bitch Fest took place on Sunday. The self-important dorks in the hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas, sitting high and mighty, debating things like game control and defensive efficiency, put out their all-important rankings, and they, in their infinite wisdom, got to dictate upon to all of us who is worthy of playing for a championship based on their own subjective opinions instead of objective data and agreed upon data points before the season. They just get to decide to do whatever they want to do, and we all have to sit here and grin and bear it. And we'll just bend over and take it because it's the sport we love. And for years, a bunch of old, rich, ugly people in ugly white blazers have dictated the terms of college football's meaningless postseason to all of us and force-fed us this garbage narrative about how it means so much in the history and tradition and all that junk, and we've never actually had a real postseason. But we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I know a lot of y'all don't agree with me on this, but that's okay. every year we get closer to the thing that I've been yelling about for, 15 years on the air, and every year we get closer. And more, the more we move closer to it, even though a lot of y'all are like little kids screaming like hell to go take like family photos, just holding on. You don't want to, or the first day of school, the screaming, don't want to get out of mom's car, latching onto the seatbelt, kicking and screaming. Y'all are fighting it. But then, you walk through the door and you realize it's going to be okay. It's actually pretty good. School's good. You get to learn stuff. Nice people. You make friends. School lunch, pretty good too. Little nuggets. Little dino nugs. I mean, come on. Let's go. It's going to be okay. I'll give you my reaction to a few of the biggest storylines of this so far. Okay. Stop traffic. Are you listening? I need everybody to pay attention. Muse, give me breaking news, actually. Give me a breaking news sounder. I need everybody to pay attention. Alabama. Okay, you can kill that. Thank you. Alabama deserved to be in the college football playoff. Okay? Now, coming from me, you know that's some ish, right? We all agree on this? Like, is there anyone else? Is there anyone else walking the face, please, anyone else walking the face of planet Earth who would have more of an incentive to have seen Alabama's name not come up on that screen than me? Anybody?
No, no.
Nobody. Not a soul. I mean, can you imagine what I would be doing on air today if their name didn't pop up on the screen? I know my opportunity's going to come. And I'm going to laugh. I mean, I hope that it's Oklahoma, but they're going to lose eventually, and I'm going to laugh my ass off at them. But they deserve to be in. And this is my criteria, okay? Imagine that was your team. Imagine that was your team. What would you say? If LSU went 10-2, won at Georgia, had 4 wins over ranked opponents, was in the playoff, in the penultimate rankings, went to play the conference championship game and lost, and then was out, how would you feel? How would you feel? You would be kicking and screaming like hell, and you know it. So, I'm not going to impress upon them a different standard than I would for the team that I cover, the school that I went to. The bottom line is, yes, you can benefit from winning a championship game, and you should. But if other teams sit home idle while you play a game, they should not benefit from you having to play a game and losing while they sit their ass at home. Period. Then it just disincentivizes playing the game. And my North Star in college football is I want games to be played on the field. Texas got punished for playing at Ohio State. That's not okay. Texas went 9-3. They beat Oklahoma, who went 10-2 and is in. So if Texas plays Wake Forest instead of Ohio State and beats Wake Forest, they're 10-2 with a win over Oklahoma. Texas in the playoff. You know what you just said? Why bother playing that game? I'm not good with that. I want those games on the schedule. That's better for all of us. Instead of artificially inflated garbage schedules with a bunch of layups that nobody actually wants to see. I would rather a true 9-3, hard-fought schedule, 12 Power 4 games, awesome games, than an artificially inflated 10-2 and you put a team in. Or Indiana a year ago that was 11-1, played one ranked team, got in the playoff. Alabama deserved to be in. And you can't say this is SEC bias because they did the same thing for SMU a year ago. SMU lost the ACC championship game, still got in. It's the right thing to do. Number 2, Miami. Yes, Miami deserved to be in over Notre Dame. What's my North Star? Games on the field. You have 2 teams that were 10-2, played awful schedules. They played each other. Miami won. Miami is in over Notre Dame, period. I'm not saying Notre Dame shouldn't be in. I'm saying Miami deserved to be in over Notre Dame. There is no argument to the contrary. They played. Miami beat Notre Dame. Miami should be in. Again, results on the field have to matter. I don't care about the opinions of the dorks in the hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas. I care about what happened on the field. They played a game. Miami won. Miami's in. A system that claims to have a Power 4 and the champion of a Power 4 not in your postseason is by definition a joke, because then they are not actually Power 4 teams or leagues. I know Duke had 5 losses. That's an ACC problem. That's an ACC problem that they had a 5-loss Duke team in their conference championship game. Figure that out, ACC. But the ACC champion, if you do have a Power 4, as you're supposing, the ACC champion should be in. Tulane and James Madison being in over Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, and Vanderbilt is also a joke in this system. There is not a soul, not one human being who can make a salient argument why Tulane or James Madison are better, more deserving football teams than Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, and Vanderbilt. Period. And I like John Summerall. Tulane had a great season. They went to Ole Miss and lost by 5 touchdowns. They lost by 20 on the road at UTSA. Please explain to me why they are one of the 12 best or most deserving teams in college football. They're not. You have this stupid rule about inclusion where you want G6 teams in there, which is awful. And then here comes James Madison, who played 1 Power 4 team, lost by 2 touchdowns on the road at Louisville, and they're in, while Texas, Vandy, BYU, and Notre Dame sit at home? What is this? It's ridiculous. But we're getting closer. What we need are 2 things. We need 2 things. Number 1, we need to get rid of the committee. And this isn't anything new. It's just a day where people are listening, and so I can say the things that I've been saying for 15 years. We need to get rid of the committee. I know there hasn't been a committee for 15 years. Just work with me, people. But I have been arguing for an expanded playoff for 15 years. Probably longer than that, probably my whole life. Get rid of the committee. Have an agreed upon metric, a power metric before the season starts. So everybody knows how that metric is calculated, and that's how we're going to determine which teams get access. By this power, you know what it's going to do? It's going to incentivize the G5 or G6 to go schedule 4 Power 4 non-conference games, because they're going to have to elevate their metric, because playing your garbage, crappy, stupid G6 schedule isn't going to be good enough. You can't, and not just schedule 1, you got to schedule 4 or 3, depending on how many league games you play. That's 1. Use the old BCS formula. I don't care what it is. But have an agreed upon metric, objective data before the season starts, so everybody knows this is the metric we're using, and the top 16 teams get in if you go to 16. And that's the other thing, is you need to expand. And I know what you're going to say. I know what y'all say. Oh, expand your road in the regular season. Shut up. I'll say it again. College football is not the most meaningful regular season. It's the most meaningless regular season in sports. It's the only sport where you can win every game you play and not have a chance to play for a championship. It's the only sport where Vanderbilt and Texas and Notre Dame can be left out in favor of James Madison because we have to make little old JMU feel good about themselves. It's stupid. Stupid. It is stupidity to include the G6 in this conversation. It is stupid. An actual playoff like we have in every other sport in the history of mankind would be absolutely amazing. And we're getting closer. We're getting closer. You know, I look at what a true 16-team playoff would look like. Can you imagine Indiana hosting Southern Cal? Ohio State hosting Utah? Georgia hosting Vanderbilt? Texas Tech hosting Texas? Yes, please. Oregon hosting BYU? Ole Miss hosting Notre Dame and Oxford? Texas A&M hosting Miami, Oklahoma hosting Alabama. Who doesn't want that? Who would say, I'm good. Let's just let people in a room decide who the two best teams are and they get to go play for a championship. Who wouldn't want games? What if, let's extend this. I got an idea. You know what? We really don't need March Madness. Let's just let a committee determine the Final Four, right? They play a whole bunch of games. Let's just let a committee determine the Final Four. We don't need the tournament. Do we? Let's just let a committee determine the final. How stupid is that? We'd riot. We all love the NCAA baseball tournament, but do we really need regionals and super regionals? Let's just let a committee determine 8 and let them go to Omaha and play. Oh, we don't need the committee. We don't need a tournament. Let's just let the committee determine who the 8 best are, and then just go play Omaha. It sounds so fundamentally stupid when you extend it to any other sport. But in college football, adult humans become stupid. Oh, it's watering down the regular season. Who wants to see that? Yeah, who wants to see an actual tournament of on-field, on-campus football games throughout the month of December and into January to determine an actual champion on-field? No, I know what we should do. Let's have a stupid system where 50 years later, Auburn just decides they're going to claim 6 national titles that they didn't actually win because college football lets that happen. Not saying anything today that I haven't said for 15 years on the show. It's just some people today are going to be more receptive to hearing it. And I'll say it again next year as well. Hey, man, but if you go to 16, then team 17 is going to complain. Would you really care? 17 this year is Arizona. Would you really care what Arizona had to say? I don't. You know what I do care about? I care about the fact that Texas went and played an awesome game against Ohio State, and now they're disincentivized from ever scheduling that. I care that James Madison and Tulane are in over a 10-win Vanderbilt and a 10-win Notre Dame and an 11-win BYU. I am sympathetic to those teams. I'm not sympathetic to number 17 Arizona or 18 Michigan or 19 Virginia or whoever. We're getting closer. We'll get there eventually. All right, Peter Burns next.
AFR.
REV. Let's rev. Let's rev. REV, let's rev.com. Y'all, time to switch. Who you got your internet with? If you have internet right now with anyone other than Rev, it's time to switch to Rev. REV, let's rev.com, let's rev.com. More than 70,000 homeowners and business owners in South Louisiana trust Rev and have for 90 years. Baton Rouge, Gonzales, Prairieville, Plaquemine, Denham, Springfield, Hammond, Ponchatoula, Covington, Mandeville, LaPlace, Reserve, Thibodaux, Houma, LaRose, Grand Isle. If I just said where you live or work and you don't currently have your internet, your home automation, your cable with Rev, what y'all waiting on, man? It's time. Faster, more reliable internet speeds up to 5 gigs, Wi-Fi equipment included at no additional cost, and no long-term contracts are required. Let'sRev.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This menu is a masterpiece. Delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too. This week in the SEC with Peter Burns.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's separate the contenders from the pretenders.
Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
With Peter Burns of the SEC Network, presented by Blue Delta Jeans.
Yo, Peter, man, check out Channel 9. What up, dude?
I'm watching. It's been an enjoyable day. Watching Notre Dame fans just absolutely just lose their mind. I mean, it's been enjoyable. I mean, this has not helped my ADD-ness of how much time I spend on Twitter, because every time I'm like, I'm going to log off from the coaching search for a little bit, and that doesn't happen. I'm going to log off from Rivalry Weekend. That doesn't happen. I'm going to log off from all these Fighting Irish fans claiming this vast conspiracy. I can't log off. Can't do it.
I know. With all the Lane Kiffin stuff, or really when Brian Kelly got fired, through all the Lane Kiffin, in the last 6 weeks, I've had to stop checking my mentions. It's really toxic in there with Ole Miss, Bama, Florida, Notre Dame now as well. It's really toxic. I've had to just sort of disengage there. I'm kind of bummed because I love engaging on Twitter, but how do you handle that?
It's funny because on the way over here, I'm in the car driving little Tiger Joe over basketball practice, and right as I drop him off, he's got the pistol. He loves wearing his LSU jersey to practice every day. I love it.
That's so cool.
So he does that, and right as I drop him off, I was like, let me just check. And the first tweet that I have is basically a blank you, like F-bombs, all of this. And then I click on the guy's profile. It's like Christian, so proud and loving of my wife and the kids. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Did not see that coming. So, I mean, I don't get yelled at much on Tiger droppings, much less on Twitter. I mean, geez.
Okay, so give me your reaction to SEC championship game. Georgia just dismantling Bama the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, I was told earlier in the week, I had asked people around Georgia, I was like, all right, how did you guys handle this week? And it was like they were practicing for a national championship game. They were practicing hard, hitting hard. I mean, there was no quarter left. I mean, these guys were as physical as everything. And then on the Alabama side, I go right before the game, and I was like, and asking some of their guys, like, how'd y'all practice this week? They're like, man, we're just so banged up. We're looking to get by this week and whatnot. And I was like, oh, gosh, okay, this could get ugly. And you could tell, we're Kirby and his team. This was personal. This was, an exorcism of the demons that Bama's just owned them for the longest time. So I wasn't surprised with how it played out. This was a Bama team that was banged up. It can't run the ball, and they're extremely one-dimensional right now. Georgia's getting better.
When you look at the teams that, by the way, are you good with the SEC, the 5 that got in?
Yeah, I get it. I sat there the whole weekend and go, all right, if Bama, outside of getting blown out, 45 to zip, right, and Ty Simpson goes down, which, by the way, they like an idiot, they decided to try to pass it on their own 3-yard line right before half, which made no sense, and Ty Simpson's almost got his ACL blown out. Like, that would have been like a whole Jordan Travis situation, but it didn't. And I kept looking at it with their feet up, on the couch watching this game, could be penalized for the extra credit. I'm like, I don't know if that falls in 2025 football with the 12-team playoff. So, and then I started looking at it, Matt, and I started looking at okay, give me the resume between right now, locked in what Miami had done, what Notre Dame had done, and what Alabama had done. And I'm like, I think the committee is going to give Alabama the nod, simply for the fact that the strength of schedule is better, the strength of record was better. Their best win was at Georgia. Yeah, I was fine with it.
So my thing, Peter, is, every year, whenever the bracket is released, there's just always going to be people who are upset. I mean, it's the nature of it. My thing is, can I reconcile with who's upset? Like, if you had a true 16-team playoff, for example, 17 this year would be Arizona. Like, I'm not sympathetic to Arizona. Like, you're out. Okay.
Understood.
I look at Texas, Vandy, Notre Dame, BYU, and I'm like, they all have an argument to be in this field. So from your perspective, what do you think? Because they're going to tweak. They'll always tweak. They do it every year. What do you think? What tweak should be done here? Hey, wait, real quick. Just get in a better cell with him. Muse there real quick so we can recall him. All right, we'll get Peter back. I want his answer to that question. Good opportunity to remind you about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com. Head into a new year. At the end of the year, there's always a great opportunity for maybe tax benefits. Talk to your CPA. Even if it's too late here at here in the beginning of December for 2025, maybe you should go to 2026. Buying land could be a great tax benefit for you in 2026. Talk to your CPA. See if owning recreational timber property could be a great investment property for you. And a lot of people who buy land already own land. So maybe you can take some of the equity in your current land, roll it into your new property. It can help you at First South Farm Credit. Whatever you do, just make sure your first call is to First South Farm Credit. Go to FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com for First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. Okay, got Peter back. Sorry, man. The cell tower just gobbled you up. Okay, I was asking you how would you fix it? What would you do?
I mean, what I would do is just stop say, listen, we're going to have a 16-team field, and stop caring about the conference champions or whatever. Just say you're going to get one group of 5 or group of 6 team that's in, so that allows you, and then say, hey, we're going to take the top 15 plus a group of 5 team, and that way you don't get sued, and then you're not complaining about it. It's just the top 15, and you just go. And I would be fine with that. I would have no problem with that going forward, because I went back and what you said, Matt, is I asked the question, what would I be pissed about? And I would say I would be pissed if all of a sudden if it was Notre Dame that got in, and I'd be pissed if I was Miami. Like, I can see if Alabama had been left out, okay. I could see if Notre Dame had been left out, okay. But if Miami had been left out after having the similar schedule as Notre Dame, and then they beat them, why the hell are you playing the game?
Bingo.
And then now you see this vast community, conspiracy about how ESPN and college football. My favorite one was people saying, oh, well, Notre Dame's going to sit out to just show the college football playoff or show ESPN who's boss, so they can't make any money. I was like, buddy, I'm pretty sure Notre Dame in the college football playoff might be well watched. So I'm not sure exactly who you're who you're hurting here.
Yeah. The other funny thing is I don't know, Peter. Like I try to handle this with kid gloves a little bit, and maybe this is a good opportunity for education. I get a lot of people targeting me, going, "Oh, ESPN shill, you got your ESPN talking points." I'm like, hey, right? I mean, people just don't understand. Like, I don't work for ESPN. I work for Guarantee Media in Baton Rouge. Guarantee is an ESPN affiliate, but I have never, one day ever, gotten a single dollar ever from ESPN. Like, I don't work for ESPN. I don't know anybody at ESPN even knows my name. It's like, it doesn't, like, you think what? There's just this mass, like facsimile that goes out. Here's your talking points. It's just funny how people think they understand how media works and are so confident in the way that they carry those torches and banners, and they're just dripping with ignorance, a total lack of understanding of how this works.
I mean, and again, I get that at the same time. I mean, I had people say, "Oh, well, you already knew the results of it," and I saw somebody tweet Heather Dinich and be like, because she had they videoed her reaction when Alabama got selected. And they're like, "I can't. Look how ESPN acts about. They all know." I was like, I single-handedly know. I've been part of this process. None of us know. None of us want to know. Right, because no one's going to act well enough to know the results of this and then go on air and be legit, genuinely, they'd have to win a damn Emmy for that. I mean, we all don't want to know. You know how it is in radio. You don't want to be told the answer. You want to have an actual, interesting, real reaction to something as opposed to, "Oh, I already know the script."
Yeah, Peter Burns, ESPN shill. SEC Network at Peter Burns ESPN, brought to you by Blue Delta Jeans.
I got. Not only am I the ESPN show, I got everybody saying, "How much do you hate Lane Kiffin? Why do you hate Lane Kiffin so far?" And I was like, "What are we talking? Why the hell would I hate Lane Kiffin?" I thought it was messy the way he left, but as if I'm not going to pull for LSU or Lane Kiffin, and I didn't celebrate one of the greatest early signing periods, and I can't wait for the transfer portal open. I mean, come on.
I didn't know you hated Lane Kiffin.
I guess so. I evidently, I'm a Lane hater.
That's disappointing.
I know. I'm finding out all types of things about myself when I go on social media. It's fantastic.
Who's going to win the national championship?
Georgia's legit. I think here's the deal. Of course, the ESPN. I got my talking points. I actually picked Indiana to go all the way and face Georgia in the national championship game.
Okay.
I mean, I think Indiana is legit. I think they were fraudulent last year. But then I think that was all kind of the plan on Kurt Signetti to kind of bump his gums to get a bunch of attention out there. And P.T. Barnum come to the circus, and now he actually has a really good product and a really physical team that, hell, I think could give everybody fits.
You're just trying to lobby for a job at Fox, you shill.
Hopefully. I mean, listen. I mean, I was in line, had Feinbaum left, but then he's not running for Senate, so I'll either, I'll be over there at NBC, pimping Notre Dame, or on the Big Ten network soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Me and Jerry DiNardo will have a big reunion over there.
Hey, that '97 Florida game was something. LSU's going to play Houston in the Texas Bowl. That was Jerry D's last game at LSU. Lost to Houston in '99 and got axed.
No, you got the script. Now you know I've been outed. Got it.
He's Peter Burns. Y'all follow him at Peter Burns ESPN. Tell Pistol Joe we said hello.
He's making it rain. He scored his first bucket this weekend, and I'm just like, I mean, he's basically Chris Jackson and Pistol Pete wrapped into the same guy.
So good. All right. Well, look forward to the SI photo shoot soon enough. Thanks, Pete.
See you, buddy.
All right. That's Peter Burns. It's after further review. We're glad you're with us. May not got a quick break. We do have Scott Shanley in 45 minutes from right now, and doing two little LSU defensive backfield news. One defensive back honored, another leaving. So we'll talk about that here in a second. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Tell you all the time to look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. There's just nobody that does it better. And one of the things that I love about River City's 1 Hour Air, among so many, is that they're always going to give you a good, better, and best option. So you pick. They're not going to force a service on you or make you feel like you have to upsell or anything like that. They're going to tell you what's wrong with your unit, if there is anything wrong with it, and then give you options to fix it. And then you decide based on what happens and what's right with your family's budget. For example, when we bought our current home, we knew the AC unit for our bedroom was old. It was original on the home, and it was on its last leg. We could have replaced it then, but we decided just to maintain it and got another 7-8 years of life out of it. But that was our choice. They'll do the same for you. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they're telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Rolling along, Monday edition of AFR. Scott Shanley in about 45 minutes from right now. Glad you're hanging out with us. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. It is award season, so you're going to have some Tigers honored, in particular on the defensive side of the ball. Today on 3 released their 2025 True Freshman All-America team. It should come as no surprise whatsoever that DJ Pickett made the cut, but he was actually named by On 3 the True Freshman of the Year defensively. It was Malachi Toney, the receiver from Miami, on the offensive side. But what a hat tip and an attaboy for DJ Pickett, the 5-star number 1 cornerback in America. A guy we looked at as a true 6'4", long, rangy, can flip his hips and run, and he came in and lived up to the billing. He played in 12 games, all 12 games for LSU. He had 2 starts, 30 tackles, a couple of TFLs. I had a couple of sacks as well. 2 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, 5 passes defensed as well. Such a strong year for DJ Pickett. And, you know, it's one of the reasons, too, why I think the other sort of headline news of the day here for LSU, which also involves the secondary, Pickett is a reason why this other story goes hand in hand. And that's that Ashton Stamps has announced he's going to enter the transfer portal. And this is candidly, it's a bit of a surprise considering how the season started. You know, Stamps is a guy that came to LSU out of Rummel, played in every game as a freshman with 4 starts, and then last year as a sophomore started every game and led the SEC with 14 PBUs. And then and going into this season, I know my assumption, I think the assumption of many was that Ashton Stamps was going to be your starter lockdown corner. And interestingly, I remember we were having this conversation in spring and at the start of fall camp about Mansour Tulane. Because remember, LSU really needed help at safety. They were awful at safety a year ago. It was the worst safety play that I can remember in my years covering LSU. And so obviously they went in the portal and they got Tamarcus Cooley, and then in the spring portal they got A.J. Halsey. But in spring football, we were looking, going, okay, could Tulane maybe kick back and play some safety? Because you had, it sounds funny now, but because you had Ashton Stamps and P.J. Woodland, and you had DJ Pickett coming in. And so there was this feeling, and you had Jakeem Jackson coming in from Florida, and there was this feeling that maybe Tulane could kick back and play safety. Well, my goodness, going out there like the first day of fall camp, it was just so obvious that Mansour Tulane was the best cornerback on the team. He turned out to be the best cornerback in the country this year. And Pickett's ceiling meant he was going to be on the field. Like, that wasn't even a question. But what we started to see as camp went along, and we go chart the defense, and they rotated the defensive back so fluidly throughout fall camp. But as they started getting into like the final 2 weeks, they were leading up to Clemson, it just became obvious when the ones were out there, Stamps was absent. And P.J. Woodland was getting more of those reps. And then, when Stamps didn't play against Clemson, it just became obvious what was happening. And he just got passed. He just got beat out by better players, which is a great indicator of what you have. I mean, Tulane is an All-American. Pickett is the best defensive freshman in the country. And Woodland really emerged, and those end up becoming your top three guys. So now Ashton Stamps hits the transfer portal, and you wish him well wherever it may land. But you look at next year and you go, okay, well, you got DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland coming back, and those will be your top two guys with Mansour Tulane going to the NFL draft. And then, does Jakeem Jackson stick around? And man, Jakeem Jackson at the end of the season was, when in particular against Western Kentucky, when Tulane missed that game due to the abdominal, the core issue, Jakeem Jackson played a really strong game. I get it was Western Kentucky, but that was also a guy that was a top 100 prospect coming out of high school when he signed with Florida. So those three guys as your top three next year, really good launch point. Then you got the young guys like Turner and Foster and Anding, and we'll see if any of them develop. But there's also the possibility you could go back into the transfer portal. And we know that LSU has a loaded war chest, a treasure chest of funds to go spend. And they are going to be targeting top players in the transfer portal. I mean, that's Lane Kiffin's approach, the self-proclaimed portal king. So even though LSU just did that and signed the number one portal class in the country, and it netted you a 7-5 season, I don't know that necessarily means you don't do that again. I think it just means the evaluation and the allocation of funds is maybe more important. Making sure you hit on those players and that you look at your roster. And so how you allocate the funds. For example, if the LSU could go back and do it again, my guess is they probably wouldn't have signed, like, Barry Brown ended up as your leading receiver this year, so it's hard to say that, but maybe like Nick Anderson, Bauer Sharp, if you had not signed those extra skill guys and maybe signed a couple of more offensive linemen, I think we'd all agree that that probably would have been a prudent decision. So not just how much you spend, but how you spend and where you allocate those funds are really crucial to building a roster. And that's what I think for the new GM, Billy Glasscock, and Lane Kiffin and their support staff, that's what's going to be paramount, is how they put together this roster for 2026. And you got a good base there at corner with Pickett and Woodland coming back, but your depth certainly hurt here in losing Ashton Stamps to the transfer portal. All right, it's after further review. Supper Club's closed on Monday. I actually had a good friend yesterday send me a text, honest to goodness true story, but said, hey, celebrating something with his daughter. It's like, any recommendation of where in town to go? Listed a couple of the fine dining restaurants in town, and naturally my recommendation was Supper Club. And I don't just recommend Supper Club because I endorse them here on the air. I recommend Supper Club because it's legit the best dining experience that you're going to have in Baton Rouge, in Louisiana, or darn near anywhere. And, a couple of, listen, holidays are here, great time to go celebrate the holidays with friends, family coming in town. Get your reservation at supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. By the way, the decor that they did in the restaurant for the holidays is gorgeous. I mean, pristine, Instagram-worthy decor. You're going to love it, even more so than what Supper Club usually is. But the thing that I always try to tell people is whatever misconception you have about Supper Club, it's impossible to get a reservation. It's not impossible. It's not easy, but you can get in. You don't have to be a member, quote unquote. But the other thing too is I think people sometimes think, oh, Supper Club is it's too expensive. Whatever you would spend at a fine dining restaurant, you can spend at Supper Club. No different. Now, they have menu items that if you want to go above and beyond, you want to get the Japanese omi beef, you want to get the Wagyu appetizer, which is served by the ounce, you want to get a $5,000, $10,000 bottle of wine, they got that stuff if you want that. But you want to go have a fine dining experience in the most incredible atmosphere that you would have anywhere, there's no choice. It's Supper Club. So book your reservation if you've never been, or if it's been a while, it's time to go back. Supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. So Stamps announced he's hitting the portal. The other LSU player today who announced his intention to enter the transfer portal is defensive lineman Ahmad Bro. We're going to talk in about 15 minutes about LSU's bowl destination, going to play Houston in the Texas Bowl, a few of the key storylines as the Tigers spend the next couple of weeks getting ready for that game. But chief among them is going to be, who's playing in the game. Do you have opt-outs for the game? And then who is entering the transfer portal, like Bro and Stamps? And what does that mean for opportunities for guys beneath them to step up and get more reps during bowl practice, and then obviously to play in the game? So we'll get into a lot of that coming up here in about 15 minutes after SportsCenter. Let me knock out a quick break, come back, wrap up hour number 2. Musa do Tigers and the Pros. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us. Text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
A lot of people here are closing out their books for 2025 as we move to the end of Q4 and getting ready for 2026, the budget process and all that sort of stuff. Listen, as you move into 2026, and if you want your business to be the most profitable it can be, the most highly optimal functioning business it can be, you have to have the right people. You know that. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're looking for welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, maybe you're looking for office jobs, from office assistant up to the C-suite and everything in between, Glow Resources can help. This is not a temp staffing agency, okay? They're looking for permanent solutions for you, and they judge themselves based on how the employees they choose for your business stay. And they have a 96% success rate. As a matter of fact, if the employee they pick for you doesn't work, they'll give you a prorated refund or they'll find a replacement for free. GLO, glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We do know the Tigers will play in the Texas Bowl on December the 27th, 8:15 p.m. Central Time. It'll be a late one, but a lot of benefit to that game that we'll talk about coming up here after Sports Center in about a dozen minutes. Right now, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll start off in Minnesota, where the Commanders just got absolutely dominated. Jaden Daniels was back after the elbow, and he lasted about 2.5 quarters. Trying to make a tackle on a interception return, was blocked down, re-injured the left elbow that caused him to miss 3 weeks. There's no timetable on a return for him yet from this one. For the game, he was 9 out of 20 for 78 yards and that interception. It wasn't going well before the interception, before the injury anyway. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, man, they looked like they were in complete control of this game for the majority of it against the Bills until they weren't. Out in the snow, Joey B, 284 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jamar Chase was on the receiving end of 5 of those for 44 yards. He also had 1 carry in the game for 8 yards as well. Devin White was just an absolute menace for the Raiders against the Broncos. 19 total tackles in the game, 10 of those stops solo. Just fantastic to see how he has really resurrected his career over there in Pete Carroll's defense. Omar Spates for the Los Angeles Rams, tied for the leading tackler on that team. 6 of them, 5 of them by his lonesome, and he also had a pass defensed in the game. And then one NBA note to get to here. Duop Reith, 12 points for the Trailblazers. Now to go 3 of 4 from 3 for Duop in that ball game. I did play 19 minutes, but the Grizzlies got the win. That's Tigers in the pros.
We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. We're nearing the end of the year. Maybe at the end of the year, if you're looking to buy a new vehicle, you always put the big bow on top around Christmas. Obviously, as you get near the end of the month and the end of the year, when you got to hit a lot of quotas, got to move inventory, great time to go make a deal. How about right now at South Point Volkswagen? Amazing deals, like 2026 Crossboard. Yes, the 2026s are here. 3.9% for 60 months. That's 5 years, man. Get on by and see our friends at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. They're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer because they have better inventory. They probably have the vehicle that you want, color, design, all the different features that you want. If they don't, they can get it. And, of course, it's worth a drive if they can give you a better deal. So check them out online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. New, and don't forget, certified pre-owned. All shop the pre-owned selection as well. All makes and models at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Muse mentioned in Tigers and the Pros there, Dwop Reith, a little former LSU basketball player. The basketball Tigers did play on Sunday, and they got walloped by Texas Tech. LSU going into that game, we have not talked a lot of LSU basketball up until this point with good reason. We've been a little preoccupied the last 6 weeks with other things. But the men started 8-0, and while maybe that could give you a sense of optimism, and that's fine, they had played 8 games, and they had 0 games against Quad 1 opponents and 0 games against Quad 2 opponents. They played 3 Quad 3 opponents and 5 Quad 4 opponents. So, yes, they were 8-0, but it's fair to say you ain't played nobody. Well, they played somebody on Sunday. They played Texas Tech on the road in Fort Worth, and they lost 82-58 in a game that was never even a game. It was 47-26 at half. Tigers trailed by 21 at half, and it just never was close or got close. So, listen, I don't think this means that you take the season, crumple it up in a ball, throw it in the trash. I think 2 things are true. I think LSU has more investment in their roster this year, so they're better than they were a year ago. And, Jimmy's talked about this with us when we've done Auto Locks. The SEC as a men's basketball conference this year is down in the power ratings from where they were a year ago when you had 14 teams make the NCAA tournament. So a more talented LSU, a lesser SEC could mean this LSU team could push closer to or near 500 in the conference. And if you do that, you could be an NCAA tournament team. And that's got to be the target this year for Matt McMahon. Anything short of that, it's hard to see the reality of running it back. Not going to throw dirt on him after losing to a ranked opponent on the road. How they lost certainly was hideous, but long way to go. And for those who have been skeptical, you were proven right in your skepticism on Sunday anyway. So Tigers will be back at it this weekend. They take a week off. They'll be back at it against SMU on Saturday. And then 3 more games before they open up conference play at the beginning of January. All right, SportsCenter coming up. Stick around.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Hey, I want to remind you, with the holidays right around the corner, make sure that you discover Rouse's. That can make planning for your holiday party so easy. If you want grab-and-go trays like we talk about for tailgates, they're great for holiday parties as well. The mini meat pies, the catfish trays, ribs, drumettes, cheese trays, fruit trays, they do it all. Maybe if you go to a holiday party, you need a dessert. Well, they got grab-and-go desserts, holiday decorated, super easy at their bakery at all of the Rouse's locations. We have a sort of a holiday get-together with Erica's family coming up this Sunday, and we have to bring dessert. So we're going to pop into Rouse's, cake, petafores, whatever it may, cookies, whatever it is, you can grab and go. And, of course, great selection of bourbons and wines and all beers, domestic craft. They got it all at Rouse's. Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Shawn Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Shawn Fagan of Locke Meredith, Shawn Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 1 week after undergoing surgery on a fracture in his non-throwing hand, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert expected to play on Monday Night Football against the Eagles tonight, 8:15 Eastern, ABC and ESPN. Confirmation today from Colts coach Shane Steichen that quarterback Daniel Jones will miss the rest of the season with an Achilles tear. He'll have surgery this week. The Colts 8th in the AFC, hoping rookie Riley Leonard can play Sunday in Seattle despite a knee injury. ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky.
Riley Leonard still has perimeter players. Michael Pittman Jr. was really good. You saw him move the pocket, get outside, use his athleticism, find players like Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren. So is he good enough to keep them afloat for a game or two? Yes. To keep their playoff hopes alive is hard. The loss of DeForest Buckner, the loss of Sauce Gardner, now Daniel Jones.
Bengals receiver T. Higgins back in concussion protocol. He reported concussion-like symptoms after yesterday's loss in Buffalo. Heat guard Terry Rozier pleaded not guilty today to charges he held gamblers placing bets on his performance in NBA games.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. It's 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Scott Shanley will be here in about 15 minutes talking some Houdat after the Saints got their third win of the season. Tell you what, man, it was very nice to see you win because of your quarterback. Shough statistically didn't have an awesome day, but my goodness, did he come up big. 4 of 5 on third down in the fourth quarter, 2 rushing touchdowns, really significant plays, which was awesome to see. So Saints making some progress. We'll talk about it with Scott Shanley, former Saint linebacker here in just a smidge. We know the LSU Bowl destination. Tigers will play in the Texas Bowl again against Houston. When I hear LSU against Houston, I can't help but think, like, my brain immediately goes back to moments in this series. Of course, the 99 game was the last game of the Jerry DiNardo era when they've only played 3 times. They played 2000 in Nick's first year. They played 99, which was the last game of the Jerry DiNardo era when Tigers lost at home to Houston and DiNardo got fired. Hal Hunter coached the Arkansas game. They won 35-7 against an Arkansas team that Arkansas win the West in 99. Arkansas won the West in 95 and 02. Anyway, but it was a good Arkansas team that year that they beat the brakes off of 35-7. Rohan played quarterback, all that stuff. Anyway, and then 96 is the one that always comes to mind. If you're old enough, you'll remember it well. If you're too young, go look up the highlights on YouTube. Kevin Falk was in his Kevin Falk era. LSU actually was trailing that game 34-14. LSU in Tiger Stadium, season opener, 1996, was down 34-14 at the start of the fourth quarter. And Kevin Falk returned a punt 78 yards for a touchdown. Tigers would complete the rally after Kendall Cleveland had a touchdown run, and then Rondell Mealy, a 36-yard touchdown run, which would put LSU ahead 35-34. Falk also had an 80-yard touchdown run in that game. He was just the greatest running back in the history of the program. It's so much fun. But I remember sitting in that game in the northeast corner with my dad and my brother, and Falk, right at the start of the fourth quarter with that punt return for a touchdown. One of the great moments. It's a shame that it was necessary against Houston in Tiger Stadium, but still one of the great moments. Anyway, we'll see what this one has in store. So LSU and Texas in the Texas Bowl. Some might wonder, why is LSU back in the Texas Bowl? I think it's important to remember that, and I know I explain this every year, and I think most people probably know it by now, but just as a reminder, the bowl selection process doesn't work now like it used to. It used to be that there was a pecking order, right? So after the BCS, or then the New Year Six would choose their teams. Then there'd be a pecking order, like Citrus, and then what was Outback, now ReliaQuest, and Gator, and it would go on down the list, right? Well, it doesn't work like that anymore. The league, the SEC, gets together with its bowl partners, and they collaborate to create attractive matchups for the teams and the fan bases and who will travel and where they'll sell tickets and things like that. So, initially, I can tell you, a little more than a week ago, LSU was looking at either the Gator in Jacksonville or the Music City in Nashville. And then after last weekend's games, and we saw what was projected for the playoff, things shifted, and then it was going to be either the Texas or the Duke's Mayo Bowl in Charlotte. And so LSU ended up back in Houston. And I know this is the third time since 2021 that LSU's played in this bowl game, and they were there a year ago against Baylor. But it does make sense for a lot of reasons. Houston is the largest LSU alumni base outside of Louisiana. So you have a lot of LSU Tigers in Houston that'll buy tickets and go to the game. It's drivable from Baton Rouge and even points in Southwest Louisiana. We're talking about between a 2 and 4 hour drive from Louisiana, from either from Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, as you go down the I-10 corridor to Houston. It's an easy trip. The game's a Saturday, so you can even make it you could drive in the day of the game, watch the game, stay the night, come home the next day, whatever you elect to do. So they know that they'll sell tickets, right? That LSU fans in Houston will go to the game. LSU fans from Louisiana can drive and make it an affordable trip. It's after Christmas on the 27th. It's not on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, so it's not prohibitive for that reason. So there's a lot of reasons that it makes sense for LSU to be in this game. If LSU had ended up in Charlotte, I don't know how many Tiger fans are going to hop on planes and fly to Charlotte to watch LSU in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Maybe the same for Nashville. But in any event, Tigers are back in the Texas Bowl against Houston. And there's a few benefits to this game, legitimately. I'm not going to sit here and sell you on how meaningful the Texas Bowl is for anything, but I'm looking at, what are the benefits of playing this game? We could start with, in no particular order, but recruiting matters. Anytime that LSU has a chance to play in Houston, they try to do it. It's why LSU scheduled that season opener in 2014 in Houston against Wisconsin. It's why LSU, by the way, the 2027 season opener against Houston is at NRG. So the game we're going to see in this bowl game, LSU-Houston at NRG, is the season opener in 2027 as well. So the first game of Lane Kiffin's second year as the Tigers coach will be this matchup in NRG. So you remember back in Ed Ogeron's first year, 2027, LSU was supposed to play BYU at NRG, but Hurricane, was it Harvey that hit Houston? And so they moved that game to New Orleans. So it goes without saying, LSU wants to play in Houston as much as they can. Fan base is there. They recruit Houston. Houston area talent can come watch it play. There's a lot of reasons why, from a recruiting standpoint, you want to play games in Houston. But perhaps the most important reason to play a bowl game, be it the Texas Bowl, Gator, Music City, Dukes, Mayo, wherever you're going to be, whatever game that no one's really excited about being in, the real benefit is the bowl practices. Now, in a different era, I wouldn't have made that argument. But in the transfer portal opt-out era, this matters more than ever. For example, a year ago, Will Campbell, Emory Jones, Garrett Dellinger, Mason Taylor, Kyron Lacey all opted out. They all opted out of the bowl game. Well, Will Campbell and Emory Jones opting out meant you shuffled the offensive line. Tyree Adams started at left tackle. Remember, Miles Frazier kicked to right tackle. And Mabenga was at left guard. I'm trying to remember who started at right guard. Maybe it was Eccles. It doesn't matter. But the point being, you were replacing Will Campbell, your 3-year starter at left tackle. So that was an opportunity for those 15 bowl practices for Tyree Adams to run out there with the first team at left tackle and then to play a game starting at left tackle. Think about the year prior. Jaden Daniels opted out in 2023 of the Cheez-It Bowl. So Garrett Nussmeier got the whole bowl prep as the number one quarterback and got to start that game as your starting quarterback, play the whole game as your starting quarterback. It's almost like a pre-spring practice, the way that the bowls work out, where you get these 15 bowl practices and you get to go play a game. And it's a glorified exhibition, and I'm not putting more stock into it than what it is. It's a glorified exhibition. You win it, great. You lose it, whatever. It's more about having the opportunity to get those guys reps. Like today, we've already learned Ashton Stamps and Ahmad Bro plan to enter the transfer portal. They're not going to be the last ones. So you've already had, by the way, Kylan Billiot has announced he's planning on entering the transfer portal, and Jelani Watkins. My guess is you're going to have more players who aren't going to participate in this bowl. I don't know if this is confirmed, but West Weeks seemed to indicate on his Instagram that it was sort of like a farewell post on Sunday. So again, not confirmed, but it would stand to reason maybe West Weeks isn't going to play, so it's going to give more opportunity for some of your young linebackers in bowl practices and the bowl game. So that's one of the reasons that primarily I would say choosing to play, electing to play in a bowl game is a good decision. There's going to be opportunities all across both sides of the ball for younger players to get more reps and actual game reps in this bowl game, win or lose. So, yeah, I'm happy they're playing. It'll be another opportunity to let these guys get out on the field, coached by Frank Wilson one more time. Get to Houston, where you can show up for LSU alums there in Southeast Texas. And for a recruiting standpoint, every time you get to play in Houston, it's a big deal. So we'll see who chooses to play in the game, who opts out. We'll follow that here over the next 3 weeks as we inch closer to kickoff of the Texas Bowl with LSU and Houston. But a good draw considering. I'm not telling you should be doing backflips at LSU's going back to the Texas Bowl. But all things considered, a good draw for LSU. Tigers are an early 3-point underdog against the Cougs. We'll see who plays. By the way, Willie Fritz, former Tulane coach, is the head coach of the Cougars. And Connor Wegman, the former Texas A&M quarterback, is a starting quarterback for the Houston Cougars as well. Remember, LSU put Connor Wegman in a pretzel last year at Kyle Field, which ultimately cost him his job. I mean, Marcel Reed took over after that and never gave it up. Wegman ended up at Houston. So Blake Baker's defense has had some success against Connor Wegman. See if they can turn the trick again coming up on the 27th in Houston. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Quick break. We'll come back. Scott Shanley, former Saint, talking some Who Dat. It's AFR.
After further review.
Yo, you still have time to take advantage of the amazing peptide special over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Thought it was going to end today, but actually extended it through tomorrow. So you need to visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Remember, I've told you about peptides, my success with BPC 157, that's Body Protection Compound 157. It's derived from gastric juice. It can be amazing for people with gut issues. If you have like gut health issues, if it's Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or IBS, this could be incredibly helpful. It's also amazing for recovery. If you have muscle tears or injuries that have lingered, BPC 157 can be an amazing option for you. And you can get 10% off your total order when you buy 3 months and 15% off your order if you buy 6 months of any peptide. BPC 157 is just one peptide of the dozens they offer at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
He's shown to have that it factor. What is the it factor? What is that thing that separates, some of our top quarterbacks in the league from the rest of the guys?
Saints linebacker Demario Davis talked about Tyler Shough's it factor. That's something Scott Shanley tweeted about yesterday. I know talked about on the Saints postgame show, which you see on their Twitter and their social media. Scott's good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Hey, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Okay. You heard Demario's comments. It was a big, long cut, by the way, for those who didn't hear the entirety of it. But I'll just get your take and maybe let you elaborate a bit on what you saw from Shough and then also Demario's comments about it.
Yeah, I think for me, I was a little apprehensive going all the way back to the draft. Like, this is a guy, 26 years old, played on 3 different teams, never really produced a whole lot in college, was injury prone. And then in the preseason, it was kind of, it was a blah preseason. But I think the team handled him correctly. Let Spencer start, let him get used to the speed of the game, to the routine every week, to the meetings. And I saw in the Tampa Bay game a few weeks ago when they threw him in, I saw some throws, and I thought, okay, those are NFL throws. The ball jumps out of his arm, out of his hand, and then they go to Carolina, beat Carolina, and he played really well in that game, threw the ball vertically. And I said in our postgame show, he was walking around the field different. Like, big body language. I'm a big body language guy, and he was walking around the field that day in Carolina like, man, I can play at this level. And when a young guy starts to do that, that's where you start to think, okay, maybe there's something here. You saw that again in Tampa Bay yesterday. Not so much in the pass game. The weather didn't permit that as much, but just running the football, doing what, Kellen needed him to do. And then, obviously I do the pregame, postgame for the Saints. Postgame comments come up. We're sitting there listening to players talk. They asked DeMario this question about Shough. And I'm thinking, okay, I want to hear this because this is a guy on the inside. He's played a lot of football. He was with Drew. He's been around. And when a guy like that says he's got the it factor, I mean, that carries a lot of weight. That's not like, if he didn't believe that, he's not going to say that. So it kind of confirmed what I was thinking based on what I was seeing in the body language of Shough.
Scott, for someone who didn't see the game, and you're going to look at the box score with Shough, and you go 13 of 20 for 144, no touchdowns and a pick, like, that doesn't look like the stat line that's going to make you go, we got our guy. But you watch the game, you're like, damn, we got our guy. So what did you see that extends beyond, like tangibly, that extends beyond the stats, plays or moments that you thought were illustrative of what you're describing?
Yeah, I think just, if you around the game, you're around players, you watch guys and their moxie and their intangibles and not the box score. You just get a feeling. And like I said, I kind of had that feeling a few weeks ago. But I think yesterday, not so much yesterday, the one thing that impressed me, if you want people to impress by Tyler Shough and stats, he's a rookie quarterback who's completing 68% of his passes. That's phenomenal. I mean, if you want to win football in the NFL and the ball's only hitting the ground 3 times out of 10 passes, you're going to win a lot of games. We got used to seeing that with number 9. He was up there, 68, 69, 70% completion percentage. That will win you games. That tells me as a young guy, he isn't panicking. He's doing a good job in the pocket, which is improvement from what I saw in his college tape. He's going from first read, second read, third read. He's making the right decisions, and the game's slowing down to him. And that's why I think you start to see people believing that this guy can be a franchise quarterback.
As a defender, when you look at the Saints offense right now, who else are you noticing that you think has some upside?
Well, I think Devin Neal's done a good job taking advantage of his opportunities. Now, I don't think Devin's a number 1 back, but I think he certainly is a change of pace back. I believe for the last 2 years, the Saints' biggest need was running back. I think it's not a knock against Alvin, but he's going to be in year 10 next year. I think you take a guy like Achane from the Dolphins and put him on the Saints offense. I think it dramatically changes the offense. So if they can get a twitchy running back, I think it helps them. So I like what Neal's doing as a young guy, but I think Vele the last couple weeks, you trade a 4th-round pick for a wide receiver, you better produce. And I think after getting rid of Shaheed, he's getting some targets. What he reminds me of, and it reminds me of Colston. He's a big-body guy running those deep digs, deep in routes, catching the ball in traffic. Because the Saints, we've missed that. Chris Olave is not so much that receiver, but Vele being that big-body presence who's willing to catch the ball in traffic into the noise, I think has changed this offense the last couple games.
Scott Shanley's with us, former Saint linebacker. Catch him pre- and post-game on the Saints pre- and post-game show. It streams on their Twitter, by the way, too, so you can check it out there. Follow the Saints on Twitter. You can get Scott at Scott Shanley. Scott, flip it over because, look, as much as we're going to talk about Tyler Shough, and I get it, man, I watched the Saints defense struggle so much, especially on the road early in the season. And to go to Tampa, and I get the weather being what it was, but to hold Tampa to 20 points, to stop them 5 times on 4th down was impressive. Where do you see the most improvement week 1 to now defensively?
Well, I think a lot of times people don't give enough credit to how hard it is to change from scheme to scheme. And I know DeMario's been in the league a long time. Pete Warner's played a lot of football. Cam's played a lot of football. A lot of these guys, they're veteran players. Alante. But there's a huge learning curve. So learning how a new defense coordinator, how he calls things, how he wants you to play things, there's a huge difference between Dennis Allen's defense and what Staley's doing. So I think it took half a year for these guys to learn how to play in this primarily zone defensive scheme. And once they settled in and understand what their role is in this defense and they're playing together, I think that's where you've seen, and Staley understands how to utilize certain players. So I think they're playing good as a unit. And a couple weeks ago, they lost a game. And again, in the postgame press conference, Tulane gets up there and he's talking about how they don't want to let each other down. They want to play hard for one another. Coach Staley always preaches about, do your job. And I'm like, these are all good signs. This is a team that's not won a lot of games, and yet they're still trying to do the right culture things for each other. And I agree with you 100%. Shucks, the talk of the Saints because he's the franchise. Everyone wants him to be the franchise quarterback. But I agree with you 100%. I think Staley and the defense is kind of the forgotten thing about how well they've been playing.
Scott, make this make sense for a football dummy like me. What is the biggest difference that you see? You talk about like the transition, right, from Allen to Staley. Like, what's the biggest difference that's tough for those guys to go through in this transition? Like, what do you see?
Yeah, and I parallel it a lot to I played for Greg Williams. We had the 1 year of Steve Spagnuolo, and he was not a fit for us. He obviously a great defense coordinator. He went and won Super Bowls. But for what we did with Greg, we were a huge man pressure team. Steve comes in, and he's a huge zone guy, and he plays everything differently. We have to relearn that. And it was a horrible year in 2012. And I think early in the year, that was the problem with Staley. These guys are learning now how to play zone defense, play this odd man front with a 3-4 mainly. Just Granderson standing up, Chase is standing up, Cam's now standing up primarily. So just a lot of moving parts that took guys a while to settle down and learn how to do it.
When you and Scott Shanley's with us for a couple more minutes, there's always this conversation, Scott, that fans have in media about, like, do you want to win or do you want to lose and get the draft pick? Give me the player's perspective, if you would, on where you fall.
Well, I'll tell you, I understand the sentiment. Certainly, when you're getting the fan or media mode, it's all about you want that high pick.
Yeah.
But the reason, even as a fan and media member now, I'm like, I don't necessarily subscribe to that because I don't think there's not a Peyton Manning. There's not an Andrew Luck. There's not a guy who's going to change your franchise. If anything, if you get a top 5 pick for me, I'm beating Mickey's door down saying trade this damn thing down and collect a ton of picks because I don't think there's a player who changes your life. So for me, I would much rather see the franchise turn a corner, find their franchise quarterback, have some hope going into the next year than to be the number 1 pick or number 2 pick. Because like I said, I don't think there's anybody that changes. As a player, you don't care about it. I mean, because the NFL, it's a day-to-day interview. If you're trying to interview every single day for your contract, and I've always said if the NBA would give those guys contracts like the NFL players have, you would see an entirely different league because it's a year-to-year league, man. You got to interview every single day, so players don't really fall in line with the whole draft pick thing. I'm
with you, man. Go win games. Like, let's see Tyler Shough get better, improve, and build around your franchise. Where do you think, as you assess the roster now with 4 games to go, where do you think the biggest needs are going to be in draft and free agency?
It'll be interesting to see. Now, we've gotten used to the Saints being in cap hell every year, and that's alleviating. That's thawing out. I think next year the Saints have one of the most, highest cap numbers in the league, so they're going to have money to spend in free agency. They're going to lock down some of these young guys. Obviously, Chris Olave, I don't know if he'll be back. Alante, they're going to have to make some decisions on some of these guys. But I think they need players on offense. They need playmakers. There is no guy that you get the ball in their hand, they make 2 guys miss, and they can go the distance. They need some twitchy guys, some running backs, another receiver. So they need speed on offense. And then defensively, obviously, DeMario and Cam are playing great, but you got to start drafting guys to replace guys. And that's why I'm a big subscriber. If you're a top 5 pick, which you may end up with, trade down and get more picks. That's how you build your roster and get out of the hole quickly.
He's Scott Shanley, former Saint linebacker, catching pre- and post-game there with the Saints in-house broadcast. Hey, man, we always appreciate a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
It's our pleasure. Hey, we're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. It's not too late, y'all. We're here December 8th, but it's not too late to get your LASIK, your PRK, your EVO ICL. By the way, EVO ICL, that's the implantable contact lens, ICL. That's an alternative to LASIK. So if you've been told you're nearsighted, but you're not a candidate for LASIK, check out EVO ICL as an option. It's amazing. Dr. Blake Williamson, he's the best. One that goes all over the world, lecturing, teaching, bringing back the foremost technologies to Baton Rouge. It's why people come from all over the state region to see Dr. Blake here in Baton Rouge. What a blessing it is for us to have him right here in our community. Remember, it's eye care, eyewear, eye surgery, so you can do your eye exam, you can fill your contact or glasses prescription, but of course, if you want to have that refractive procedure to be done with contacts or glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can help. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. All right, it's after further review. We appreciate Scott Shanley for jumping aboard. If you missed Peter Burns last hour, we did open the show today talking about Blake Baker staying with the Tigers. We did give our takeaways from Saints Bucks. You can get all that on demand, however you get your podcasts, or on YouTube. Just search After Further Review if you want the full show. If you just want LSU content, search AFR LSU. If you want just Saints content, search AFR Saints. Podcast, YouTube, you find it all there. I want to knock out a quick break, come back, and maybe we'll circle back to some more of the reaction to the college football playoff. I gave you my takeaway to it last hour. And again, I don't know that we'll ever reach a consensus, and that's okay. And I think, I don't know that my opinion is going to change anybody's mind, and that's okay. And I don't know that your opinion will change my mind, and that's okay. But I think that what we all want is what's best for college football, and this is the only sport where there's so much debate over the postseason. I mean, if you just think about it intellectually, that is true. I think we could all agree. There is no other sport where there's this much debate about the postseason, because for its entire existence, it has had a broken postseason system. There is no real championship system. We're getting closer to that, but it's still imperfect because college football tries to serve too many masters. But if I'm just to boil it down, what I want is for things to be determined on the field. I want games for things to be determined on the field, and not in a hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas. But every year we're getting closer to that. We'll give you some more reaction to that, what a lot of people around the college football world are saying and what might actually be ahead. So we'll do that as we continue. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Stick around.
After further review.
I love telling you about Clegg's Nursery every year, every time of year, but especially this time of year because it's all about getting toward Christmas. Yes, they still have a great selection of Christmas trees. Yes, the poinsettias look fantastic. They get fresh shipments from the greenhouse almost every single day. So don't think it's been picked over and there's not a great selection. Amazing way to decorate your home or your office or give a poinsettia as a gift. We're also here into gift-giving season. Maybe you're going to Christmas parties or you're getting ready to check off your Christmas list. They got gifts for gardeners over at Clegg's. You can get a Clegg's gift card. Let them choose. That's a perfect gift for the gardener on your list. Citrus trees are always a great gift and something that will give year after year after year. They have the beautiful tuned wind chimes in your outdoor decor. Just get on by and buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lockmeyer, Shough, Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer, Shough, Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
You were the University at Notre Dame. You were a brand in college football. You were one of the founding fathers of what makes this sport great. You should not have the right to do this as a team. And if you want to figure it out and you don't want to opt out of the bowl game as the University of Notre Dame, I can fix this whole thing with you with one phone call. Hi, can we join your conference? Oh, you cannot be an independent, control your own schedule, and then pout when you don't get in because you don't have the conference championship at your weight.
It's Matt Barry from ESPN, one of many voices that are teeing off on Notre Dame, rightfully so. Notre Dame released a statement on Sunday. It just read briefly, as a team, we've decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. We appreciate the support from our families and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I want to be clear because I don't want to come across as being contradictory. I don't want to, because I am someone who talks about how meaningless bowl games are. And I believe that. They're nothing but made-for-TV money grabs by a bunch of fat old men in ugly jackets to make money under the guise of a 501c3 nonprofit and history and tradition of college football. For years, players got a $500 swag bag. Oh, and sorry you tore your ACL and ruined your shot at the NFL. But thanks for playing in our game. So, to that end, if a player chooses to opt out of a bowl game, like Will Campbell last year, Jaden Daniels 2 years ago, Leonard Fournette and McCaffrey back in 2016, I totally get it. Absolutely. Make the best decision for you. You're not quitting on your team. I get it. You have a legitimate life-altering opportunity at your fingertips, and there is no sense in jeopardizing that. I get it. Totally. The thing about Notre Dame players seemingly like voting, because it says as a team, we decided to withdraw our name. That's the thing that I just struggle with because, man, I get it. I never played sports at a high level, but like I'm about as competitive a son of a bugger as you'll ever meet. Like I remember as a kid, there was one Saturday, and I love playing baseball. Like I would lay out my uniform on my bed, like the night before the game. Jersey, pants, like the stirrups, all of it. And, we'd play Saturdays. I was young. I was like 8 or 9 years old. And woke up and it was raining and the coach called and like our game that day had been canceled. And I cried because I didn't get a chance to play. And I just can't imagine having the opportunity to play a game and not playing. I know that's not everybody, and that's okay. And again, like I just said, there's people who have a higher level decision. But man, like you only get so many opportunities. It's why, like, one of the reasons I hate the ejection for targeting rule in college football is that. Like, think about Whit Weeks earlier this year. Plays 3 plays against Florida. He's making a tackle. Hard play, run into the football. The ball carrier, crouches, and they have helmet-to-helmet contact, and Whit's ejected. Like, not only are you altering games, but you only get so many of those opportunities, man. Like, one day it's going to be over. So that's the part of me that's like, God, dog, I can't imagine sitting in that room being like, yeah, I'm not going to play. I mean, think back to like 2021 when LSU played that bowl game against, it was a Texas Bowl against K-State with 39 scholarship players. There was that cut from John Trey Kirkland where he's like, we got 11, we're going to play. I mean, they played with 39 scholarship players and a receiver playing quarterback just to go play. I mean, I'm not saying that's the right decision. I remember the late Mike Leach, when he was at Mississippi State in the COVID year. Remember, you're allowed 85 scholarship players in college football. And he said they played 4 games that year with fewer than 53 scholarship players, including one against Georgia. But they played. That's where I go with Notre Dame. And a lot, they're not the only one. There's like 5 teams today or whatever that have opted out of bowl games. So I understand there's a lot of reasons why those decisions are made. So I'm not being totally critical of the decision not to play in a bowl game. It's more if you're telling me that Notre Dame's team voted and we're like, now we're good. Man, that's one where I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't sit in that room and be like, y'all guys, I'm good. I'm going to take it on home for the holidays. We don't need to play a game. Like, no, man, let's go get it. But the athletic director, Pete Bavacca, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't really care. Bavacca. He was on the Dan Patrick show, and he's not pleased, and he expressed his displeasure.
Yeah, I want to make one thing clear, Dan. We have no problems with the teams that made it in. They're all great teams. Miami's a great team. Alabama's a great team. We're a great team. What we're so confused by and frustrated with is the process. Every step along the way since the first CFP rankings came out, we were led to believe we were in as long as we took care of business. And Dan, you think about that first ranking, we in Miami were both 6-2. They had obviously already beat us the first game of the year. They were 18th. We were 10th. The only thing that we did since that point was win every game by over an average of over 30 points. And, all of a sudden we're 11th and on the outside looking in, and we don't have any good answers for that. So we're just really frustrated that we had the rug pulled out from underneath us, Dan.
Yeah. That's true, Pete. That did happen. Matt Barry's right. They joined a conference. I mean, Notre Dame gets to play by an entirely different set of rules. Now, I do agree, however, that they should be in the playoff. But this is the point that I have made and will continue to make over and over again. Like, I don't want subjectivity to determine who gets to play for a championship. There's no other sport in the world where that's the case. Where, like, teams, you have methodologies for access to playing for a championship. Like, in the NFL, you win your division, you're in. And then the teams with the highest records get the wild card spots. And, like, that's under the assumption that you're in this league of 32 teams. Everybody's equal. And so you get to go play your schedule. And everybody plays a relatively equal schedule. That's one of the things that has to change in college football, or you have to grant more access, which is what I would like to see. I would like to incentivize teams to play tougher schedules. I want to incentivize Texas to go play at Ohio State. And if you lose that game, it's not going to cripple you. Because I'd rather see that. I know it's not what and what, but I'll just give you an example of something that maybe is relatable. So, like, this isn't a Scream Calici thing, but so, because a lot of teams do this, I just know because it's where I went to high school and I follow. But, like, Catholic this year in the pre-district played St. Thomas More and at West Monroe, and they played a team in Mississippi that was a great team. Like, went all over and played these great teams. Like, they challenged themselves. They ended up losing a couple of those games. But there's a power system in place that rewards you for playing really good teams. Like, that should be the same here, and it would be an agreed-upon metric. You're a G6 team and you want access, okay? Now you're going to be rewarded for scheduling all Power 4 non-conference games because it's going to help your power rating. Like, it's doable to where you have an agreed-upon metric that's going to give teams access. So, because, like, Indiana last year is a great example of that. They go 11-1, but they were hot garbage. That schedule was hot garbage. They played one ranked team. I shouldn't say Indiana was hot garbage. Their schedule was hot garbage. They played one ranked team. It was Ohio State, and they got beat like a drum. But they were 11-1, so they got in. Like, was Indiana's 11-1 better a year ago than Ole Miss, Bama, or South Carolina's 9-3? I wouldn't think so. But that's an opinion. So let's have a system that has access to where we can determine that result on the field. Wouldn't that be good? That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not pounding the table and yelling and screaming. I mean, this feels to me like common sense. Let's have a metric that gives us the best 16 teams, or 8, 24, 32. I mean, I put on Twitter the other day, go to 32, and people melted over that. Like, sure, I would love to see 32. I want to see more football. If you don't want to go to 32, I think 16 is appropriate. We get to 24, whatever. But what I want to do is eliminate the subjectivity, where you have teams with a legitimate beef on the outside. And Notre Dame and Texas and BYU and Vanderbilt all have a legitimate beef. They do. And you say, well, don't lose to Team X. Okay. Well, then now what you're doing is you're disincentivizing scheduling tough games. You're disincentivizing a 9-game schedule because now you've guaranteed half your league another loss. You're disincentivizing playing key non-conference games. You're going to tell me you'd rather LSU open up against Baylor instead of Clemson? What do you want to? You want to see LSU play Rutgers instead of, opening up next year at home against Clemson, or playing Southern Cal in Las Vegas? I mean, what are we talking about? Like, let's see actual, real, meaningful games that we get excited about. Let's reward teams for playing those games. It seems very obvious because we see it in every other sport, but for some reason, too many people in college football can't get mentally over that hurdle. But my hope is we're getting closer. It's not a hope. We are getting closer to that. The BCS gave us 2, and we had the 4 team. Now we have 12. And I think it's inevitable we're going to hit 14 or 16 in the next iteration, which is going to be great. Because if you get to 16, then the 4 I just mentioned are in. Great. And you can say, well, 17 will complain. Well, 17 this year is Arizona, and I'm not super sympathetic to Arizona. I don't think they have a great case to be in. Would I like to see it even further expanded so we get more games? Yeah, I think that'd be great. Give me 32. Yeah. You got to win 5 games to win a national championship. God, that'd be awesome. 10-game regular season and a true playoff. Or 11, 12-game regular season and a true playoff. Get rid of the conference championship games. I mean, I understand there's money involved, and it's not as easy as waving a magic wand and just having that done. But it's doable. And every other sport does it. Hell, college football does it at the FCS level. So don't tell me it can't be done. Just got to get to the point where they can make the money work and it'll make sense for everyone involved. But we're getting closer to it. All right, it's after further review, y'all. Let me knock out our final break, presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We'll wrap up with Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks, a Monday Night Football pick. Stick around.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Baton Rouge, Renaissance Baton Rouge. Of course, Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. The Renaissance is right there on Bluebonnet near I-10. You got family members coming in for the holidays. Make sure, if you don't have enough room at the inn or you don't want a Griswold situation, tell them to go stay at Renaissance Baton Rouge. Gorgeous. Remember, every Renaissance is unique to the market it's in. So no two Renaissance properties are identical. So when you go to Renaissance Baton Rouge, you'll walk in, you'll see the big sculpture behind the front desk. That is a 2-scale model of the Mississippi River and its tributaries. When you look at the carpet, those are the artwork on the carpet are like crab traps. They have chandelier and hanging artwork, which are like pelican eggs that are hatching and supposed to symbolize the state bird. There's so much uniqueness to Renaissance Baton Rouge. You got to check it out if you've never been there. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
My father, J.B. Faugu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Faugu.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. One thing left to do, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, how are you?
What's up, Matt?
Been a really good weekend, man. Enjoyable. Watched a lot of football. Won a little bit. So hoping to keep it going, man.
Yeah, let's keep it going tonight. Cross-coast fight for the NFC East Eagles here in the defending champs. And, you know, man, they've been a lot of bickering this season for the Eagles, especially in the offensive side. And so beware in trying to put together a single-game parlay with any type of individual players over for tonight's matchup. The Chargers, as expected today, called up Marion Hampton from the injured reserve. So he is active, the rookie running back. So that should give them a nice boost to their running game. And Mr. Herbert is going to start. He had that, the little procedure on his non-throwing hand. But we're going to take the points tonight. It was creeping up, went from 1.5 to 2.5 today. Doubt if it's going to get to 3. If it does, you definitely take that. But going with the Los Angeles Chargers at home.
It's actually at 1.5 now.
Okay.
So it went backwards.
Right.
So what do we think?
No, same thing. No, we're going to take the Chargers plus 1.5. Yeah.
All right. Any sprinkle on the money line?
Oh, a little
it's
bit.
plus $1.10.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's unfortunate. We went 2.5, but again, anything under 3 is you pretty much had the same stance on.
Okay. All right. Chargers plus 1.5 right now. Where are you tomorrow?
We're at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street.
All right, Otter. We appreciate it. Good luck. Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
All right, man. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Had a lot of rain this weekend. Typically, when it rains, it's when you find out that you got a hole in your roof or a leak, and you get water spots on your ceiling. Tell you, typically when you see the water spots, it didn't just start. That's an accumulative leak, and so you might have had water in your walls and your insulation for weeks, months, who knows? Could have mold. Let Parish Restoration come check it out. They'll kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. Maybe at the office, someone brought in flu, COVID, it's going around. You want to knock that out? Let Parish come in and spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. And non-toxic, so it's safe for people, for pets, for plants. Let them come in, spray. They'll knock it all out. Have you clean smelling, lickety-split. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. Just fill out the form there on the homepage. ParishRestoration.com. All right, y'all. Been a really good show. Appreciate you for hanging out on a week where we feel like maybe we can exhale a little bit. After a 6-week sprint, LSU's got their coach in place. Bowl game has been set. Frank Wilson is going to have a teleconference, a Zoom, to preview the bowl game tomorrow. So we'll hear from Frank Wilson as they get ready for the Texas Bowl. Frank, of course, is going to coach LSU in the Texas Bowl on December 27th against Houston. So we'll have that for you. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Getting on down the road. Hey, let me remind you about Lee Michaels. I popped into Lee Michaels last week. I told you we had Erica's her engagement ring, her diamond repaired. One of the prongs was broken on it. They had to reset it and replace some of the pave. Anyway, so it was in Lee Michaels last week. Got to see Scott over there, which was awesome. Always good to visit. But man, it was popping. You can tell it's just that time of year. And one of the amazing things every time I walk into Lee Michaels that always strikes me is the selection. So it doesn't matter necessarily what you're looking for. Yes, they have the most beautiful, diverse selection of diamond engagement rings. And if you're thinking of popping the question, go to Lee Michaels. If they don't have what you want, they'll find it. They can't find it, they'll make it. But it's not just diamond engagement rings. Necklaces, watches, bracelets, earrings, pendants, writing utensils, everything. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana propane dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana propane dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.